Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, August 8th. Your government taco forecast today in Baton Rouge. Expect to see sunny skies with a high of 90. Follow Government Taco on Instagram at GOVT Taco for monthly and daily specials. Coming up on OTB, Hold the Mayo, Devin Snow joins the show at 9:15, and we have a new edition of Weekend Winners at 8 a.m. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in OTB Monday, August 8th, 2022. Hope you are having an excellent Monday as we now sit here at the beginning of this week with a Saints preseason game coming up on the way this weekend, halfway through Saints camp for what that's worth, and here at the very beginning of LSU camp. We'll talk a lot of LSU camp this hour as Jake got to go out there. We'll talk about basically, who was taking which reps, et cetera, what the big takeaways were. Some massive recruiting news on Friday as well with Shelton Sampson Jr. indeed choosing to stay here in Baton Rouge. I think there's a very interesting connection between something he said and something that Brian Kelly said when he first got this job. We'll touch on that. As I said, halfway through Saints camp, we're going to break that down in terms of, what are the big takeaways thus far? Where's it going? How are players trending? And then, obviously, we got our weekend winners and all of our other wonderful Monday stuff. How's everyone doing today? Fresh off the lake, feeling good, feeling refreshed, got a little color, had a lot of fun over the weekend. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Lake Bob had fun?
Yep, it was a good time.
Is that the last lake trip before everything gets crazy, or do you have one more in you?
Nope, we're going again this weekend. And then at the end of this month, I'm going to Florida, and that's it.
Oh, and that's it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No days off for this one this weekend. A couple days off for the Florida trip coming up. But, that will be the end of our summer adventures as we lock in for the next 6 months in which we will be consuming football wall-to-wall of both the CFB and NFL varietals. I believe as well that we're getting a CFB poll later today, a USA Today poll for whatever that is worth. I'll be intrigued to see whether or not LSU finds their way in there. Again, I thought it was very surprising they were not in some of these polls that have come out thus far, given you had a Brian Kelly to this week. And you still got a lot of talent on this LSU team, which is sure I'm something that we'll get into. But first, how was your weekend, Jake?
I was good. I had a chance to go out to, like you mentioned, LSU practice on Saturday, and I was able to see B.J. Ojulari get the number 18. That was special for me to be able to be there and talk with B.J. And B.J., great young man. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but it was a lot of fun for me and enjoy being out there. So I appreciate them allowing me to come out there and watch practice and be a part of B.J. getting number 18.
So we now have Keishawn Boutte in 7, B.J. Ojulari in 18. The number tradition continues under Brian Kelly, which, was one of those things where there was kind of two schools of thought on that. They didn't know if that was going to keep up or not. Maybe not as much 18, but 7. Certainly, I think there were some questions about whether or not it would continue. Well, it has. And two solid options in Boutte and B.J. Ojulari.
And I think Coach Kelly made an addendum to number 7. He mentioned he wanted to be the best playmaker from the state of Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
That's not always been, obviously, a part of it. You can go to number 7s that weren't from Louisiana, but that's something he wants to make it someone from Louisiana, entice someone from Louisiana, obviously, to be able to go out there and wear that number. Because I think people, across the country know what it means to wear number 7. at LSU, but certainly in the state of Louisiana. I know there's been great ones that, Pat Pete, Grant Delpit kind of come to mind, but he wants to make it from someone from Louisiana. He mentioned that to the media over the weekend.
Yeah, from the state of football, as LSU's campaigns, their marketing campaigns and recruiting are calling the boot. Mari, how you feeling? You feeling good?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Went to a wedding on Saturday night. It was a lot of fun. All in all, had a really good weekend. Feeling good.
Hell yeah. Paulie, what about you? Paul O'Neill filling in for Danny Cardenas as he continues his quest to have a child in Italia. We'll check in with Danny later this week. Paulie, how you feeling?
I'm good. Didn't watch a single thing of sports this weekend.
No Braves.
Well, the Braves got kind of beat up by the Mets. It's probably a good thing, Paulie.
Yeah.
Is that where that Diaz, that Edwin Diaz intro video is coming from?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Very cool video. Very cool video. Very intimidating. And we will play it a bit later on during weekend winners.
Paul and I will excuse ourselves during that.
No, you'll be forced to watch. We're not even going to watch any of the highlights. We're just going to watch Diaz come out of there.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
It's the Goodfellas shot, the Joe Burrow shot, the trailing right. I mean, that's kind of when Turnquist did that with Burrow, that is what he cited as being his inspiration for the shot. And of course, I'm talking about Burrow on senior night where the camera's following right behind him, so you get that POV view of what it's like to walk into that stadium. Somebody did that with Edwin Diaz this weekend. If you haven't seen the video yet, it's spectacular, and we will show you the video a bit later on in the program. But the news of the day has to be LSU football camp. It opened up. I mean, that's what we're all here for. That's what the vast majority of you are here for, is us talking Tigers. And so let's dive into it, Jake. Keishawn Boutte back, and it's tough. I'm glad that you got to go because it is tough outside looking in to get a very great view of exactly what's been happening. But one of the big takeaways was Keishawn Boutte's back. He's healthy. He's cutting around. Another kind of interesting parallel between LSU and the Saints, the two main reasons why y'all are here, right? Mike Thomas returning after a long absence due to an ankle injury in which there were setbacks that required multiple surgeries. Keishawn Boutte, and Mike Thomas, of course, maybe the best receiver in the NFL. Keishawn Boutte, potentially the best receiver in the nation, back after a long absence due to an ankle injury with some setbacks that required multiple surgeries. He's got Penning and Will Campbell, kind of a left tackle. Some interesting little parallels there. But I really enjoyed the story in The Advocate today about Keishawn's offseason, where it kind of confirmed some of the things that we thought, Jake, where I think there was some early tension between him and the new staff as they got to know one another. And there was a lot of turnover that came at a time that was very challenging for Keishawn personally. He never had a major injury before, and that's a hell of a thing to deal with the first time you go through it, and you don't always deal with it correctly. And he said as much. He said he didn't approach his rehab correctly the first time, which ended up causing him to have another surgery. I mean, in my own personal life, I went through the exact same thing. Didn't do my shoulder right the first time. That's why I have 2 labrum surgeries instead of just 1. But in the end, it seems like all that tension ended up working itself out as the two sides got to know one another, and it ended up working out for the best. Not only does Keishawn look healthy, ankle stronger than ever, but even down to things like getting a 3.5 GPA this spring, which is a career high for him as well. So the process that Brian Kelly has championed and introduced here seems to have worked out for him both in the training room, on the field, and in the classroom. So you love to see these two sides come together as the new staff gets the best player fully on board.
I think you're exactly right. Look, Coach Kelly laid it out, though. I mean, for his opening spring football conference, remember, I think we both were there, and he mentioned, like, hey, there's some work to do here in this relationship. And so it's been something that we've known. It's been out there. And Keishawn went to work. You mentioned the 3.5 GPA. I mean, that's outstanding. You look at what he looks like in his uniform right now, right? He has put himself in fantastic shape. And so whatever that situation was, and it was rocky, whatever, well, look, they were trying to learn each other. They were trying to figure each other out. Now that they've done so, it's all about moving forward, because Keishawn, when I was out there on Saturday, looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked great in his uniform. He was moving around. He was working his butt off all practice long. And you're exactly right, T-Bob. Any list that you see, top receivers, you're not going to get past like number 3 before you see Keishawn's name. He's not just your best receiver. He is one of the best receivers in all of the country, might be the best receiver in the SEC. He is that kind of talent. So, look, I'm glad that relationship is going well. I'm glad that they figured each other out. They learned each other, whatever. Now they know exactly which page that they're on. He's wearing number 7. To me, he looked like he's always looked at practice, right? There was no limitations. There was not like, hey, let's hold him out for this. Let's hold him out for that. I mean, he was going, and he was going all day long.
Yeah, he did say that, mentally, and I think there's something that everybody deals with. Mentally, there's still some roadblocks to kind of get over when you're trying to go make a cut or do this or that. Maybe you're still feeling a little wary, but ultimately that's another situation that kind of works itself out over time with more reps, more time on task. You'll learn to get that trust back again and just play naturally. All right, coming up next here, I'm going to start diving in with Jake here. We'll pick his brain on what he witnessed on Saturday, who was taking what reps, and we'll really get into this LSU camp. And then obviously a bit later on, we'll talk Shelton Sampson Jr., not just with ourselves, but also Billy Embody coming up here in about 20 minutes. So keep it locked right here. If you're watching 104.5 ESPN, hit the like button, please. The algorithmic gods that rule our existence. And stick around for more OTB next here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to dgbauto.com, dgbauto.com, or donaldsonglassandbody.com. We love Donaldson Glass and Body. Been at this thing since 1977, y'all, and they do everything when it comes to your vehicles. I mean, a simple little oil change, all the way tires, wheels, glass, brakes, anything. I mean, the best body shop in the entire state, which is why if you need collision repair, remember, you get in touch with DG&B. They will pick up your vehicle, your home or place of work. They will fix it, and they will drop it back off to you. The towing in that is free, so you get free towing with collision repair, and the best body shop makes your car look brand new. Go to Donaldson Glass and Body today.
Yep, been doing it since 1977, as we always mention, and they've been doing it the right way since 1977. Truly your one-stop shop for any of your vehicle's needs. Oil change, tire rotation, new tires, new windshield, whatever it is. I mean, paint and body work, they are the best in the state. We say it every day because it is true. DunstonsvilleGlassandBody.com, DGBAuto.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
For over 53 years, customers have been heading to Happy Town for the Corval Toyota experience. Why? Because they choose to get an outstanding price and amazing customer service. Want the same and get treated like family? Then Corval Toyota in Opelousas is the dealership for you. Corval vehicles have been cruising around Acadiana for 5 decades. Corval Toyota is here to stay, and we want to keep you rolling. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Friday, lock of the week. Join me, Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff, live from Rufino. Special time, 10 a.m. to noon on Fridays, lock of the week. Game time presented by Bet Rivers from Rufino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob, the 2022 LAB Prestige Award winner for Best Sports Radio Show, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hope this Monday finds you having a wonderful day. Shout out to all of the parents who are probably, the vast majority of you, probably a couple of days away from your kids going back to school. Finally, someone else having to watch your children during the entire day instead of you having to come up with a new activity every single time they see you. Freaking Alice. Every day. We'll be like leaving one fun playground place and she's like, yo, where are we going next? Like, we're going home. She's like, I don't want to go home. It's boring. I'm like, what the hell, kid? We just spent 2 hours at the tramp park. You went and played at Bambinos this morning. Like, what more do you want, woman? Unfortunately, I got another month before our school starts up.
The worst is when, like, you take them to do something like that, and then you come back home, you get showered, you get, ready to relax, and they'll come in. Are we going to do anything fun today?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, you just did something.
The hell did you just say?
Are you a dog? Do you have no concept of time? You just experience it, and then it's out your head immediately? No. Shout out to all the parents, though, whose school is starting back up. That's awesome. Okay, let's talk LSU camp. Speaking of going back to school, Jake, you were back at your old school this Saturday watching practice. What were the takeaways that you can talk about, that you can share? Obviously, you don't want to step on too many toes. I'll give you the inside info here, so they let you watch all the practice. But what kind of stood out to you that you could talk about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to name a quarterback or anything right now. So I know a lot of people want to ask that question, and they still have their rotation going, the rotation that we talked about. Early in camp, you're probably going to see all four continue to rotate. That's going to go down to 3, go down to 2, and then you're going to name a starter. So nothing really to decipher there. A lot of guys got a lot of first-team reps, right? So I think that this week I would be surprised if they don't have a clearer picture, not a clear picture. I mean, it's not going to be the starter, but a clearer picture of what is going to be the rotation in this week moving forward. So I would definitely want to check that out this week. But going back to Saturday, one of my biggest takeaways was Anthony Bradford. I was talking to you during the break. He didn't practice this spring. So you get him back, looks like he's in great shape. I mean, he's just a massive human. I mean, we've talked about that before. In his one-on-ones, I thought he was dominant. You see him kind of playing kicked out at times. I think he can handle tackle right now. You like where his feet are at. So that's a player that definitely stood out. You got Dellinger was cross-training almost at a bunch of different spots. If you can get him some center reps and you have like a competition at center, I mean, I think that would be good for everyone involved. Because that's a player that played a little bit last year, went through some injuries, but we've talked about the center position, right? You want to create some competition there. You want to have multiple guys fighting for that spot. nobody has really starting time at that spot, so it is wide open. So I'll be curious to see if he can insert himself into a competition there at center.
Yeah, it's great to hear about Anthony Bradford, especially because it's someone who was a big-time recruit, seemed like he always had the talent. Ultimately, his body is what was holding him back. So you're saying, despite the fact that he missed spring, which was could have been a red flag, right? What do you do with your body when you're away and you're injured? Can you come back and get in great shape? You're saying that Jake Flint and the strength and conditioning staff and Bradford's commitment, you're saying he looks good body-wise. What about the rest? Because that was always the problem with this young offensive line is they all looked, honestly, a bit sloppy, a bit kind of unrefined. Would you say that Bradford's transformation is extended to some of those other guys as well?
Yeah, there were some body changes.
Okay.
Without question. From the spring until the summer, there was some guy like B.J. Ojulari. He looked bigger than I've ever seen him before, but and obviously in a good way for B.J. Yeah. I mean, there was some real transformations. I think people will, the more you see like stuff come out from training camp, you see some videos, you're going to be able to tell. I mean, but certainly in person, there's a handful of guys, I would say 10 guys that I'm like, oh man, you look different.
Okay.
Right. Guys that lost weight, that needed to lose weight, guys that certainly gained weight, that needed to gain weight. So they did a really nice job.
Yeah. And look, obviously a portion of that is people getting older and their body maturing just kind of naturally, but, you cannot
but real quick though, even Will Campbell, a young player, like I thought Will put on some good weight.
How did Will Campbell look? Just as a side note.
Like Will Campbell.
I mean, so did you get to watch one-on-ones? He did all right? I
mean, he did great.
You're never going to win all your one-on-ones as an offensive player. If you do, then you are a beast. That's how you end up in the NFL. Okay, so
the offensive line made me feel better about it walking away.
Okay.
On Saturday. It was a position that you and I wouldn't say nervous about because you had experience, but you didn't know what that experience was going to be because they were coming from other places. I mean, one of them's coming from high school, but I felt better about that group as I left the practice on Saturday. A lot, going back to bodies changing, a lot of changed bodies there in that group, and I felt better about it. There was a couple of guys that we haven't talked about because they weren't in the initial starting lineup that we saw in spring that I think really do have a chance to crack the starting lineup, and Anthony Bradford would be one of them.
Yeah, it's funny. I just always forget about Bradford because he wasn't in this spring, and we made so much about who was kind of left over this spring. And it sounds like he is probably going to start, which makes sense. I think he was the closest to starting last year. I think when we were talking about legit SEC starters that LSU had on the line last year, I think I was saying 7.5 or 6.5 and something. The half was Anthony Bradford. Looks like he's ready to make that half a whole. What about defensively? I don't know how much of a view you could have gotten on this, Jake. Obviously, probably the biggest, because we called offensive line the biggest swing position in terms of affecting win-loss, maybe on this entire team, obviously outside of quarterback. And then the other group that gets that title is cornerback a lot of times. Did anything stand out, yes or no, when it comes to the secondary?
I think corner is a position that you want to continue to see if you can get more bodies.
Yeah.
There was a couple of guys that have been nicked up early in camp, but that's every single football camp. So it's still a position. You want to see some young guys step up. You have some young players that you brought in from high school. Obviously, you're not counting on those guys to be stars or anything, but you do need some depth there. One place that I did notice some serious depth was in the front seven.
Yeah.
The front seven, you like your depth there. I'm talking about on the obviously the defensive line, the linebackers. The linebackers, they were just rolling guys in there. I mean, with the ones. I mean, they were rolling. Mike Jones was the constant. He's right there in the middle.
Okay.
And they were rolling guys through there.
Who was rolling in around Mike Jones? Do you remember?
I mean, every Baskerville and Jared Small and just all the linebackers that we've talked about. But the defensive backs, not really safety. Safety, you feel okay. By the way, probably need to start talking about Jay Ward more.
Yeah.
Jay Ward's somebody that we just he's been constant. He's been in there. Jay Ward is going to be a damn good football player for LSU. He stood out to me. So you feel good about that room. Corner, you're just looking for depth. You're looking for guys to step up because you've got your first team guys you feel good about.
Yeah.
It's okay, well, what if something happens? You're going to have to have a young football player step up.
So that was camp day one takeaways. Quarterback still rotating. Good to hear that the offensive line inspired some confidence. And, we already knew this, right, just from a pure roster standpoint, but cornerback probably needing a bit more bodies. So as exciting as camp starting over the weekend was, probably the most exciting news of the weekend was Shelton Sampson Jr. Committing to LSU, the 5-star wide receiver, number 4 wide receiver in the country, number 3 player in the state of Louisiana, said, quote, "I'm from Baton Rouge, so the question was really, why not LSU?" And Jake, that why not LSU is actually pretty fascinating to me. And that's because I watched The Follow, episode 1, which is on LSU.gold. Episode 1 is free to watch if you want to go check it out. I would say it's worth it. Then again, I am biased. Me and Cody Worsham are doing a kind of podcast companion with the show where we watch an episode and then break it down. So he says, so the question was really, why not LSU? And what I learned in The Follow, episode 1, Jake, you get to watch Brian, you get to watch a couple cool things. First off, you watch O's speech to the team after the Texas A&M game when he knows his last time with them. It's pretty emotional. It's pretty raw, as he is on the verge of breaking into full-on tears. And he tells all the players, like, I love you, play, young guys, you got a new coach coming in. You got to work your ass off, make your best impression, go do what we recruited you to do. So it was interesting seeing that kind of behind the curtain. And then also we had seen bits of this, but you get to see Brian Kelly's entire opening speech to the team when he has their first team meeting. And what I found interesting is that he ended that meeting with nearly the same exact quote, where he's like, a lot of people are asking, like, why I would leave Notre Dame to come to LSU. And then he lists off all these positives about LSU, the facilities, the people that work here, the Scott Woodward, the alignment, the word that we kept hearing, right? And then he says, so at the end, the question was, why not LSU? So it looks like Brian Kelly, that was not just coach speak. It looks like that is a message that he is now selling on the recruiting trail, and it appears to have landed home with a recruit that honestly, you never want to say you needed one guy, but in terms of a symbolic kind of warring ground, Shelton Sampson Jr., whatever he chose, Jake, was going to be used as a kind of weather vane to show where things are going, right?
Yeah.
Like if he had gone somewhere else, it would have been pure panic. Now that he stays, not only did he a great player, but it is a symbolic statement of, no, we can keep the best talent here in Louisiana, even in a year where 3 of the top 5 guys are never going to even come here anyway. So a massive win over the weekend for Kelly and staff.
Yeah, now you look up, you're number 7 in the composite recruiting rankings. And so that's with those players from Louisiana that we've talked about. You never really had a chance, no matter what happened, right? So they weren't coming to LSU. Well, you get now your first 5-star in Sampson to stay. He's from across the street here on Government. He stays home. He's going to be an LSU Tiger. And now your top 2 recruits, if you include Jaylen Brown from Miami, they are at the receiver position. So a position that right now has incredible depth at LSU just adds more depth to the process. And so this was one of those ones, I think you're right, T. This was a player that's like, okay, we can talk about Arch Manning, we can talk about Holstein, we can talk about Osbear, we can talk about all those players and how they were never coming to LSU, but this wasn't that case. That was not going to be something you could use. And so those other things are real. Well, you really also had to get Sampson to come to LSU. So it is a massive get. The coaches were, I'm sure very, very excited when they watched his video committing to LSU, because this is your first 5-star, as I mentioned. This is the biggest recruit so far in your class, and he is a couple of miles from your campus. You want to start to have guys like that. Sometimes it's hard to keep Baton Rouge guys. We know that. Certainly university guys. They go to school on that campus. You've heard me say it's one of my fears that my boys won't want to go to LSU, right? Because they're on campus. They've been at that school for a long time. So any guy you can get from Baton Rouge to stay home, but certainly a 5-star, one of the best receivers in the country, a top 5 receiver. This was a massive get for LSU. And like you're saying, now it might change the narrative. Maybe you get a couple of more guys if you want those Louisiana guys in this certain class. Yeah. They got an offensive lineman from Louisiana 2 weeks ago. So the Louisiana guys that they're fighting for are starting to commit to LSU.
Yeah, he did say as well that he's going to start working on the other Louisiana guys to join this class. I think it's a nice little symbolic win over Florida State as well, a month ahead of your actual chance to beat Florida State. And it would have been similarly scary if Florida State had won this battle, because I think it would have dredged up far too many memories about guys like Warrick Dunn and others fleeing
Travis
back
Minor.
in the day. Yeah.
Both from Catholic.
Exactly.
Both from the school he plays for.
Man, work done would have looked tight in the purple and gold. But that's the point, okay? That's the point, is that it didn't happen then. It did happen now. And Shea Dixon pointed this out. And here are wide receivers drafted out of LSU the past 12 years, but just from Louisiana, which is absurd. You're talking about Chase, Marshall, McMath, Jefferson, Gage, Chark, Dupree, Wright, Landry, Beckham, and Randall. And what's even wilder is maybe outside of like Malachi Dupree, everybody else has made it in the league. Maybe James Wright made it. Yeah, everybody else
got vested in the league.
Yeah, everybody else has made it in the NFL. Not just drafted and flamed out, but like made it, got invested.
Second contracts.
In just an incredible lineage from Louisiana wide receivers specifically.
No, it is. And it's a position Louisiana has always been able to produce. But again, you're not guaranteed just because of that fact that you're going to get the top receiver in the state. So that, again, you get Sampson to commit to you now. You got a couple of other targets that you can go after. You know, can you flip a Derek Williams from Texas, who's a number 2 player in the state? Can you go get Hurd from Neville, right? You probably feel like you got some good chances there. Neville teammate with Will Campbell. He's a number 5 player in the state. Jordan Matthews from Woodlawn still out there, right? He's crystal ball to Texas. Can you convince him to come to LSU? Ricky Collins decommits from Purdue, one of the better quarterbacks in the country, a top 15 quarterback. Can you get Ricky Collins to commit to you? So there's still a lot of players on the board from Louisiana that if you can get, it's only going to help your recruiting class. And we're not talking about 3-star guys. I mean, we're talking about top-tier talent.
Well, let's talk to Billy Embody about it next. Not just Shelton Sampson and why he chose to commit to LSU, but also where does LSU go next and where do they stand with those remaining Louisiana targets? Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, and myself, my 2 kids, my best friend, my wife, and my giant 100-pound dog, Jake, along with luggage, all in the minivan. And guess what? We had room to spare. I mean, riding comfortably. In fact, we go on a lake every single week, and I've been driving that Toyota Sienna every single week, and I'm just falling deeper and deeper in love with the car that I've had now for a couple of years. But as nice as my 2020 is, his 2022s are kind of mind-blowing, y'all. So go ahead and check them out today. Join me in the MVG, the minivan gang. We're your friends at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
What kind of dog's 100 pounds?
Mom Yellow Lab, Dad Irish Setter, we think. I don't know. We bought him from some guy on a farm in Eunice. $20.
$20. All right.
$20 pup.
Well, you don't have to think of All-Star. You can buy, you can lease, you can rent. All of the fleet is available in all the processes. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Tigers are back on the practice field. We'll get you an LSU camp report, and we'll head down to New Orleans to check in on the Saints. Join us Monday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake Martin, and Paulie hanging out with you today. Danny, wish you the best out there. Natalia, hope you're doing well, man. Right now, let's go to a man who I think is finally back from his honeymoon. Let's go, dude. Billy Embody of On3 Sports. Billy, what's up, dude? Is this I can't remember if we've had you on once since the honeymoon. I know we tried to link up a couple times during the honeymoon. How you feeling, dude? You feeling fresh, refreshed? How's married life?
Oh, every day's a honeymoon.
Wow.
It's great. It's
Oh,
great.
wow.
Yeah, I got to send her this recording after we're done here.
Yes, excellent answer, Billy. Well done. From a old salty vet, you're off to a great start here, like the Chris Olave of being married. Let's talk about a guy who LSU fans hope to be like Chris Olave one day, and that is Shelton Sampson Jr. Obviously, you cover these things so in-depth, 4-on-3, do incredible work. What did you learn about Sampson throughout this process, and ultimately, why did he choose LSU?
I think just a very mature kid. I mean, young man who's going to be ready to compete right away when he gets to LSU's campus. He has that maturity. He has that drive to be great. That's something that stands out to me just from talking with people around his recruitment or, people at Catholic who, coach him and all those things. He's that mature, and that is a huge starting point when you're talking about, playing at the highest level in college football, and that's the SEC. That's what separates the greats, and he has plenty of talent. He really is somebody that we think very highly of. We've locked him in as a 5-star before his senior year's even gotten off the ground yet. Our Charles Power, who looks at all these guys and really looks at their track, looks at their measurables, looks at their production, compared it to Demaryius Thomas. So, that's pretty high praise for somebody. And I think the world what Shelton Sampson could be, and he's got that motivation and that drive to be one of the great ones to come through LSU.
Billy, what about symbolically? Did we lose? We lost Billy there. All right, we'll get Billy.
I haven't heard like an old hang up tone.
Yeah, what was that?
In a long time.
Is he on an actual?
I hope so.
It sounded almost like somebody was like clicking down a phone, which would be fantastic. I mean, the only place where I know where. Where is the only place that you still use a phone that you put in the cradle and everything? Well, as we stare at Mario, use one. But, okay, outside of Mario using his phone right here.
Dude,
Ordering room service.
Okay,
At the
okay.
hotel. Or
Okay.
calling down at the hotel.
Okay.
It's like the
It
only
kind of
place
feels
in my
good,
life.
too.
It feels great.
I don't know if I'm excited because I'm about to get room service, which is like a top 3 thing for me.
It feels incredible.
But it just feels good. Like you hold on your shoulder maybe and just hanging up. Okay.
Billy, we got you back?
I'm here, guys.
Okay, hell yeah. Hey, you aren't on. Are you on like a phone that you put in a cradle at the end?
Nope, I'm on the interstate going to see Javian Toviano, one of LSU's top targets.
Always grinding,
Oh,
boys.
man, it sounded like you hung up like an old school phone, and I was about to be very excited for the fact that you were on an old school phone.
Look at Billy, though. Always
I
grinding.
know.
Go ahead.
It clicked for me, too.
Oh.
Kind of like,
Maybe it was on
like,
us.
did I get hung up on?
I think it was Mario's fault.
Yeah, Mario hung
Billy,
up on you.
So this is something that we discussed, and I want your insight on, and that is kind of, look, as good as the player Shelton Sampson is, like you say, compared to Marius Thomas, looks incredible. What do you think symbolically this meant for the Brian Kelly era here early on as he tries to establish his Louisiana bona fides?
Yeah, this is huge, and I think for many reasons. You know, you look at what happened last year, which, new staff coming in with the situation with Coach O being let go during the season. A lot of schools had a lot of time to make up ground in Louisiana, and LSU just didn't have as much. And so, you saw kind of an exodus of some talent in the last cycle, and this year they're doing a pretty good job of keeping a lot of it at home in terms of the guys you expected them to compete for. Shelton Sampson is the biggest symbol of, being able to plant the flag in Louisiana and say, we're here, we're not going anywhere. And that's because he's a Baton Rouge kid. He's a 5-star. He's one of these prospects that grew up an LSU fan. And, sometimes in the past here or there, those kids have escaped. They really have. And for them to keep him at home just says a lot about what this staff can do recruiting-wise. This is a prospect that was wanted very badly by Texas A&M. To plant that flag is just so important for Brian Kelly, and it's kind of a exclamation point on what was a really, really good summer for them in recruiting. Starting with that blitz in July, and it's continued this month so far with Shelton Sampson, and they're probably not done in Louisiana.
All right, Billy, that's actually going to be my question here. What's next? What's next for Brian Kelly and this staff? Now you've got your 5-star, but there's still some targets, obviously, in Louisiana and elsewhere. Where do you think LSU puts their attention now?
Yeah, last night, Ricky Collins announced his decision date will be Wednesday, and he's a 4-star quarterback who decommitted from Purdue. LSU's been recruiting him pretty much the whole spring and summer. Joe Sloan leading the way on that one to try and get him on board. And they played this one very well. They got him to back off, and it looks like it's going to be LSU for his final decision. He'll get it out of the way before his senior year. And another local prospect who's at a position where, I think this quarterback room probably didn't necessarily need a quarterback this cycle. But I do think you're always looking to take one each year. And so he's the one that I think they're going to end up with this cycle, and he's a really, really good prospect. And, credit to the staff if they can, get him on board, and I think they will. So that's number one. Hyland Jackson, the Zachary safety, is another one who, we've heard it might announce a commitment today, but it sounds like he's going to push it back. LSU still sits in a really good spot for him. And then, 5-star offensive tackle Zalance Hurd is still out there, as well as 4-star athlete Kai Preen out of St. James. So they have some other Louisiana prospects certainly still lurking for them.
What is the latest on Zalance? Billy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what is the latest on Zalance Hurd right now?
So Zalance is somebody that's alluded to a decision maybe before his senior year or early in it. Right now it looks like he's going to maybe take it into the fall just a little bit, just because it's been so quiet. But I think LSU sits in a really good spot for him. They've done a really good job, recruiting him very, very hard since offering him, had him on campus for a kind of a multi-day unofficial visit after he camped in June. He went to Florida and Florida State during that open week of recruiting at the end of July. But I still think LSU sits in a really good spot for Zalance Hurd, no doubt.
There you go. Billy Embody giving us all the latest on this LSU recruiting class. On 3 Sports is where you can find his work. Follow him on Twitter at Billy Embody. Billy, thank you so much, man. So wait, who are you going to watch today?
Javian Toviano, one of the top defensive backs in the country, considering LSU, going to take things into the fall. Texas A&M, a bunch of others are after him. He's a top 100 prospect who made his way to the Bayou Splash at the end of July. So really, really big target.
Javian Toviano, hell of a name, dude. A lot of syllables, very syllabic. Love it. Billy, love you as well. I like how your name rhymes. Always have. You have an excellent day, my friend.
You guys do too. Love you guys.
All right, later, bro. Congrats on the honeymoon. That's awesome, man. All right, when we get back here, let's go ahead and close out hour number 1. And obviously, we're going to kick off hour 2 like we do every week with a little weekend winners. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
GEAUX. What does it mean to you? Go. Yeah, probably because you're from here, right? If you weren't from here, you may not understand that. So when I say GEAUX roof, go roof, you already know you want to go to GEAUXroof.com. You also know that because they spell it that way, they are from here, right? They are members of the community, and all they care about is taking care of the community's roofing needs. That's why they offer you whatever you need to get your roof done right. They get the free professional estimate. You call them up. They come out to your home, let you know exactly where you stand. You make a fully informed decision about what to do next. If it's a big job, insurance covers it, great. If not, look, again, they will work with you to find monthly payment options that work for you because they just want to make sure your home and your family are taken care of. And they stand by that. They're going out of their way to offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. They don't have to do that, but they do. Roof's up. Beautiful new roof every single time. Go roof.
This week on dropbiscuit.com or wherever you listen to podcasts is our new series, Pops, the Louis Armstrong story. Pops is brought to you by New Orleans & Company. Check out neworleans.com and come visit New Orleans.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Dad!
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well.
Yes!
It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to hour number 2 of OTB. It's not hour 2. It's in hour 1. My bad. My bad. Jumped the gun there as I got a little too excited thinking of weekend winners coming up next. I'm still interested on the Ricky Collins thing. And by the way, huge thank you to Troy LaBeouf for holding it down Friday so the boys could have a day off and go do whatever it is you do with a day off. I thought you were going somewhere, Jake. You didn't go anywhere?
No, I still worked.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Still
okay.
worked. I had 3 days that I was supposed to take off this show, and the plans fell through. So I worked those 3 days, and I said, you know what?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
I'm going to take at least one.
A little self-care, okay? We are firm believers on this show, okay? We don't live to work. We work to live. How profound. I made that up. That was me that made that up. If you ever hear somebody else saying they said that quote, they're wrong. That is mine. I was a bit interested on the Ricky Collins front there, Jake, because again, and I know we've touched on it, like you can't be scared to commit to a school, but this is a rather full quarterback room that Collins is committing to. And it's always, a guy like Walker Howard with all the hype and kind of being heralded as the next big thing. He casts a long shadow. And so if Collins does indeed end up committing to LSU, I'd say it's a pretty damn solid recruiting job, given that the actual breakdown of the room maybe could cause Collins to be a little hesitant to want to throw his lot in with Baton Rouge. Speaking of Walker Howard, did you get to see him at all? He's not factoring in the ones rotation, is he?
No, I mean, he's going to go out there and he's going to have some moments with them, 7-on-7 and half-line drills and things like that. I think that you want to get him that experience, but as I said, I think today, maybe tomorrow, that's when you'll start to really just narrow it down and you'll start to really divide those reps based on what you saw in the first week of camp and what you kind of see moving forward. And no surprise, he, made some freshman mistakes, but he also made the throws. You're like, okay, that's why he's here. That's why he is who he was in high school and in his recruitment and everything.
What is it? What is this? Is this going to be practice number 3 or 4 today? I mean, what are you, Thursday? No, do you start?
This is going to be 5.
5?
Yeah.
I thought report day was just on
right?
Wednesday.
Didn't they do something on Thursday and Friday? Goodness, bless you, Mario.
Maybe Sunday off, Monday off.
They practice Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so maybe this is up to 5 now.
5.
Damn, dude, we are hurtling right along towards football camp. If you missed the breakdown of the Saturday observations from Jake, you can go back earlier in this hour and check it out, and as well as us talking Shelton Sampson as the recruiting trail remains excellent. Fonzarelli asks, T-Bob and Hester, is there going to be an on-site show the Friday for the LSU-FSU game? I believe the plan is to be in New Orleans essentially all weekend long. I don't know exactly what has been nailed down or not, but obviously we will keep you updated as we'll keep you updated as those plans develop, because we want as many people to come out as possible and come hang out with us.
Hey, real quick about Ricky Collins, you mentioned obviously full quarterback room, young quarterback room at LSU. That's going to be the case anywhere you're looking to go. If you're looking to go to a major college football team with championship aspirations, that's just going to be the case. Now, it might be better in some spots than others, but you're still going to have young 4- or 5-star talent of guys that were told they were the greatest thing in high school. That's just the way it's going to be. I mean, so when you take a look at that, it's like that almost like that can't even factor into your decision. Like you have to be competitive. You're going to have competition that you're going to have to face.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely always going to have competition, but look, to be fair, I don't know the quarterback room at Purdue, right? Maybe they have
Aiden O'Connell's
elite
stud.
ones lined up in terms of guys that you would be just 1 year behind. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. Maybe I'm being a bit prideful in assuming that LSU's path to the field at quarterback is tougher than Purdue is.
And it is, but I'm saying, like, if you want to go play, there's a difference between LSU and Purdue. Sorry, Gordy. There just is, right? So if you want to go to, a place like LSU that's won national championships, like there's going to be other quarterbacks that are really good players that are going to be in your way to get on the field.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair, and only one person plays, which is why it'll be interesting to see if this quarterback room remains in the numbers it is now. Weekend
Off
winners.
the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Kick it off next hour with Weekend Winners. Go to AccuTempBR.com. That's AccuTempBR.com. For all your AC, heating, and electrical needs, you want to go to AccuTemp. Look, they say service to the highest degree for a reason. That's because they've highlighted their service. Because, look, everybody can do the work, right? Like, if you're not fixing people's things consistently or correctly, you're going to go out of business. So how do you separate yourself then once you achieve the baseline of doing work? It's how you treat your customers. And that service to the highest degree is not just a punny tagline. It is words that they live by. Go look at the online reviews. Just go experience AccuTemp for the first time. You're like, oh, okay, T-Bob was right. Go to AccuTempBR.com today.
Remember, you can schedule right there on the website. So if you've got something going on at your home, you can go ahead, or your business, you can schedule that right there online. You don't even have to pick up the phone if you're at work. Go to AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, August 8th. Your government taco forecast today in Baton Rouge. Expect to see sunny skies with a high of 90. Follow Government Taco on Instagram at GOVT Taco for monthly and daily specials. Coming up on OTB, Hold the Mayo, Devin Snow joins the show at 9:15, and we have a new edition of Weekend Winners coming up next. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN. Or watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Paulie hanging out with you today. Hope you are having a wonderful day. And again, let's have ourselves a day. It is Monday, which means, you can get overwhelmed by the full week ahead of you and everything you've got to do, and you're already trying to schedule everything out. Maybe you're like Jake and you color code your felt pins in an old school calendar planner, a la the ones you got at school, which I always used for like 2 to 3 days before eventually losing it and or losing the motivation or drive to continue it. But it always felt really good for those 2 to 3 days when I had everything perfectly mapped out. My life felt so together. Did you used to use one of those in schools, or is this an NFL development?
NFL.
There you go. Never too late to teach an old dog new tricks, I suppose. Don't say you can trick an old dog. Don't say it. I said don't say it.
An old dog can trick you every once in a while.
Okay. I guess I got the saying wrong, so that is true. But it doesn't work there because I said you can teach an old dog.
And that's what I said. I tried to tell you that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think you said that an old dog can trick me, which I guess maybe by learning a new trick, you trick me, so that is the point of it. Huh. Never worked it out before. Just did the math. All right now, let's dive in. Oh, okay, wait. The point of all this is that let's not get overwhelmed by the week ahead, okay? Don't worry. Take it as it comes. Just like you're in camp, right? If you're in camp, we talked about it. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Take it as it comes. Deal with what's immediately in front of your face. And what is in front of our face right now is a brand new edition of Weekend Winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that? Win the whole thing.
All right. Let's start here. Sam Mills. Well-deserved. Should probably do a whole segment on Sam Mills. But Sam Mills, member of the Dome Patrol, the reason why the Carolina Panthers say keep pounding, a legend of not one but 2 NFL franchises in 2 different rings of honor, now finds himself in the ultimate ring of honor, Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame. He's the only modern-era Hall of Famer, Jake, to get in their final year of eligibility. This was Sam's 20th final chance. Yes.
Missed that.
Before he would have been moved to the senior pool, in which there's not a lot of hope of getting out of. And, well, he done did it. And congratulations to him, as it's an incredible personal accomplishment. Obviously, Sam isn't here to get what he deserves, but I know it's a very special moment for his family to see him honored in this way. And it's wild now to think that you have two members of that Dome Patrol in the NFL Hall of Fame. And also, Jake, weekend winners, the Short Kings out there, 5'9", and in the Hall of Fame for linebacker, okay? You know who didn't wear lifts in his shoes? Sam Mills. You can do it. Let's go, boys. Great job, Sam Mills. Congratulations. And obviously, I hope his family is relishing in this incredible honor.
Who wore lifts in their shoes?
I don't know why I get these ads. I've seen a ton of Instagram ads lately. And it's like some short guy like interviewing like hot girls and be like, "Do you like tall guys?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then he like puts lifts in his shoes. Like, "Do I look better now?" It's awful stuff. It makes me think about the youth of our nation just being poisoned with this just dumbassery. Like, just.
Oh, wow. How are the turntables?
Yeah.
You're the old man.
I'm not freaking out about Cardi B. I'm freaking out about making people wildly insecure about their height, where if you can carry yourself with confidence, you'll be okay. Maybe some of the confidence that Cardi B carries herself with. There, Mario. Jake, what you got?
I'm going to go weekend loser to start off here. I don't know what's going on with the Arizona Cardinals, but I can't figure it out. So Kyler Murray scrubs all the Cardinal stuff off of his Instagram, and then eventually he lands himself a gigantic contract. And then, like, Cliff Kingsbury had Kyler Murray call plays during Cardinals training camp, and he was like asked why he did. He's like, "I just want to show him, like, it's not easy." Like, when he looks over and he's like got his hands thrown up, I wanted to show him, hey, it's not that easy. In fact, like the quote was, "This SHIT ain't easy."
It's interesting on multiple fronts. First off, it's weird to see a head coach kind of display that sort of insecurity. And it immediately brings up why all this homework clause stuff is so dumb, because the joke or the thought that immediately pops into my head is like, wait, you're going to trust the guy to call plays who had to have the 4-hour homework clause in his contract? Like, what the hell?
Well, and then they go back and they take that, it's in his contract, and then they take it out of his contract. Like, I have no idea. The dynamic there seems awful.
Toxic.
It seems just toxic's the perfect way to describe it. And he's got a huge deal now. So, like, Cliff Kingsbury has to know that the player deal is going to outlast him. Like, they're always going to side with the guy that they have that much money invested in. So I don't know what's going on there. It seems like it's toxic, as you said. But, like, they're together, but I don't know that that's a good thing.
I'll go digging through my Instagram messages, because you know how we showed the TikTok the other day with the what's it called, the dot plot or something? It was the graph that showed that statistically Kyler Murray, his drop-off correlates to the release of Call of Duty. And the wildest thing is it goes further. Again, I don't actually think it's legit. I think it's a very funny coincidence. Maybe it's legit. I don't know. But somebody on Instagram sent me another piece in which his statistical declines directly correlate with double XP weekends on Call of Duty. So when they're giving out double XP, maybe he's grinding a little too hard trying to prestige. Do you still prestige in Call of Duty? I don't know. Does anybody know? Or is it, I doubt you prestige in Warzone. I don't think that would make sense. Weekend winners.
Stay in the NFL here. My first weekend winner is Jordan Davis from the Eagles. Video of him went viral from over the weekend. I don't know if y'all saw this, but he's going one-on-one with the backup center from the Eagles, Cameron Jurgens, and he drives him back like 20 yards. Apparently, Jordan Davis is having a really good camp, and he had a lot of hype coming in from Georgia, 6'6", 336, and he ran a 4.740 in the combine. I'm curious to see how good of a rookie year he can have.
Oh, man. I'm just watching this video right now, and I'm going to need some Jurgens. This is nice, dude. This is some good big man stuff right here, Bo. Also, I feel for that senator. What are you supposed to do, dude? He's like half his size.
He's trying to do everything you're supposed to.
He's even throwing his hips back. He's doing the drop and lock, and there's just nothing stopping him. Just keep dropping, punk. All right, my next weekend winner, Pat McAfee, just continues to win at life. He was incredible in the WWE the other day. Obviously, he has a very successful show in which he has really made Aaron Rodgers quite likable. Aaron Rodgers actually went on Pardon My Take finally as well. I started listening to some of that this morning. I'm not a regular listener, but I do like checking out every now and then. It's really, really good. But whatever. McAfee's been a part of that. And now he is teaming up with the Manning production company, who did the Manning cast, to simulcast six college football games this fall, which I'm sure is actually going to be hilarious and wonderful. Pat McAfee is incredible at his job. Again, like I said, continues the summer of McAfee.
I agree with you there. I didn't know that. It's going to be fantastic to be able to watch that. Hopefully it's like in his style, the way he wants to do it, because that would be why I would tune in to all 6 of those games.
Okay, now, any more weekend winners, boys?
I got another weekend loser.
Okay, go for it.
Manchester United, they lost to Brighton over the weekend. It was the opening weekend of the Premier League, and their manager, he blamed the loss on a lack of self-belief and a hangover from last year.
My friend who kind of watches, I don't know how regularly he watches. He was just complaining about it. He doesn't look like an EPL manager. What is a word on him? We're Man United fans. Was he there last year as a senior manager?
He's brand new.
So we're Man United fans happy with the hire?
Man U fans are never happy with anything.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, you lose your first game. It's like, well, we lost because of self-belief. And then you blame last year when you weren't there and the team that was months ago. And then, there's this whole drama with Ronaldo. It's like he sat on the bench to start the game. They didn't bring him on until the 60th minute. And Ronaldo now wants, out of Manchester because, I was the best player last year on this team, and now I'm not getting in until the 60th minute.
Going a little too hard trying to prove that no one's above the word of law. Mark, you got any more?
Real quick, last weekend winner, Peyton Turner, apparently is looking really good at Saints practice. He had 2 sacks during team drills on Saturday. Usually stats in practice, not a big deal, but just seeing him out there obviously is a really good thing. He's looking healthy and looking good.
Yeah, he's done well. It hasn't been quite seems like Paulson Adebo has kind of taken the headlines from him, but he has continued to perform, I would say, very solidly, even though he has a couple of missed practices in there. My next weekend winner, Jay Clark in the LSU gymnastics team, currently at the #1 class for 2023. Shout out to everybody in that program. Get it done. And then after that, I'm sorry, Braves fans, Jake and Paulie, but this Edwin Diaz intro over the weekend, they did the Burrow shot where he comes into close, and it looks so cool. Check it out for yourself. Here it is. Baseball remains really cool when the stadium is full, right? Now I know there's a lot of shots of empty MLB stadiums and it takes away the juice, but when you watch that video and you think about what it's like to be a closer and you step in from that bullpen into the outfield and there's, 40,000 people? And that music's playing that old West gunslinger type of music, and that's what you're about to go do is try to gun someone down? Whew, golly, dude. That is some of the best right there. So I know that y'all were on the wrong side of that, but that was pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, when you have an elite closer like that, and he's got his music, we have seen Trevor Hoffman, Mario Rivera.
What did Rivera always come out to as a Sandman? No.
Craig Kimbrell's got his own music. When you have an elite guy.
The problem is Craig Kimbrell's name isn't very intimidating. Edwin Diaz sounds like a gunfighter.
I don't think Craig really cares.
Hey, look, I'm just
still pumping up 98.
You don't got to be defensive. I'm just saying it's not.
No, I'm saying I don't think he cares.
Name. Bob Wickman was a way better name than Craig Kimbrell.
Bob Wickman had a body. Say that. He had a body.
Fat Boy King.
He had a body.
Professional athlete, Fat Boy King, Bob Wickman. Look him up if you've never seen him before. Just
Bob Wickman.
Gut rolling
That
over
would be
his
the
pants
one
as he
play
jogs out with a giant chew in his mouth. I'll never forget his intro video at Brave Stadium. He would start with his back turned to the camera and then whip over and look over his shoulder. But shout out to Edwin Diaz. I really can't get over the gunslinger stuff. Like, if he had spurs on and was making a clink as he jogged along, that would have felt completely natural. Okay, my next weekend winner, Tyrann Mathieu 3-2 gang. Tyrann Mathieu officially going to be number 32.
Yep.
Hell yeah. So everybody who pre-ordered a jersey, your jersey should start coming in soon. It'll be the 3-2, which is a wide number, right? He's going to be wearing black. He's already kind of small. Might make him look smaller. 3-2 is going to give him a little width. I like it. And then a couple cool little movie things here that I heard about, Jake. So there's a new Predator prequel out called Prey. And everybody's talking it up. It's on Hulu. It's supposed to be fantastic. I tried to watch it last night. I was too tired from the lake. I passed out 5 minutes into the movie. But my best friend and wife watched it and said it was awesome. So I can't really speak to it, but maybe if you're looking for something to do tonight, check it out if you like Predator especially. And I love Sandman by Neil Gaiman on Audible. They have an adaptation that is some of the coolest thing I've ever consumed. I listened to it, but best content I've ever seen. They just come out with the Sandman Netflix show. It's supposed to be pretty cool. So, Prey and Sandman. You're welcome.
Sandman, yeah, I previewed it last night. It's it looks like a lot.
You don't even, the thing is, I cannot even tell you, and I don't know about the TV show, but in terms of the story, I cannot even tell you the scope that it deals with. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. And it's probably more and different than what you were thinking. And then weekend loser, Alex Jones. Did you see this of InfoWars? Man of many hilarious clips and quotes.
Yeah,
also man of
the
many
one that you and Danny
conspiracies. Yes. So Alex Jones lost in one of his Sandy Hook cases. He now owes $45.2 million to the Sandy Hook victims in punitive damage. That's on top of the $4.1 million of compensatory damage. So it's $50 million to two Sandy Hook families. Has two more trials on the way. The wildest thing of the weekend, though, and really maybe the loser should be his lawyer. His lawyer sent his full cell phone from the last 2 years to the opposing lawyers. And then when notified about it, failed to do anything to protect lawyer-client privilege. And so they became admissible in court. And so Alex, and if you have not seen the video and you dislike Alex Jones, it is worth your time to go look it up today as he is sitting there when the opposition lawyer lets him know, hey, bud, we got your phone for 2 years, so we know you've been lying. He said, do you know what perjury is? Like, rare have I seen Alex Jones at a loss for words, and he was, and it was fantastic. That dude is scum. Enjoy the $50 million. I hope you have to pay even more. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's do a deep dive into Saints camp. Keep it locked. Off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552 is the number. And they've been at it for nearly 50 years fixing turlets and whatnot. If you need your turlet fixed, you already know where to go. And that's Central Plumbing, any piping, anything, everything. Jake, I'm sure, can tell you about the tankless water heater, if that sounds like you might be into that. I mainly just use them whenever something goes wrong plumbing-wise. I'm not going to try to fix it. Plumbing's hard. Anytime I've tried, I've made it worse. I take advantage of the flat rate pricing, the fact that everybody's licensed and monitored, and the excellent warranty coverage. I go to centralplumbing.org.
Go to centralplumbing.org today. T-Bob's right. I can't tell you about the tankless water heater. So if you're getting home late, you've been at the ball field, you've had practice, you've had dance, you've had whatever, right? Getting home late with the kids, and you still got to shower, you still got to do the dishes, right? You still got to do the laundry, all of that. Well, you can do it at the same time if you go tankless. Never run out of hot water. Go to centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Tigers are back on the practice field. We'll get you an LSU camp report, and we'll head down to New Orleans and check in on the Saints. Join us Monday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Oh. Okay. Ah! Oh. Hey, I'm trying to be crunk. C-R-U-N-K. Tell them how we gonna come. Tell them why they don't hold on. Tell them why they better run.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Smell it, so it's rolling. Here in the studio, you always trust the fullback to keeping things on him. Chill out, Mark. Congratulations, Todd Hoover.
What Todd do?
Actually, I don't know if I can read that on air.
Nope.
So I shouldn't say that.
Never mind.
But congrats anyway.
Let's see. Let me go find it.
It had to do with marijuana, I believe. But it is whatever. I don't want to get into this. Trey Bradford no longer on the LSU team. Real quick before we get into Saints camp, we should discuss that because I don't think it would have to happen. We didn't know by. Did we know by Friday? We weren't here Friday. We did not know by Thursday is what it was, right?
Right.
And then, so this is our first chance to discuss it. A bit surprising, though, Jake, I can't help but wonder if maybe you were privy to some information because when we did our running back preview on Thursday, you did leave Trey Bradford out of there, and then we kind of just threw him in as an afterthought in the end. Was that just happy coincidence, or had you heard something?
No, I had not heard. I had not heard anything. That is not information that I had heard. But look, going and looking at the depth chart, though, obviously, like Trey was somebody. I thought he actually did a nice job of changing kind of his his body type. He was always kind of a slender guy, and I thought he did a nice job gaining some weight and trying to put himself in position. But he was always going to be fourth on the depth chart of the running backs that we know. Obviously, you have Emery, you have Noah Kane, you've got Armani Goodwin. So no real surprise there. I mean, he was a player. He's got talent. I mean, but he's been at LSU. He left to go to Oklahoma. He came back to LSU. So now he's going to be this third stop.
Yeah, well, and that's the only reason I would say I was surprised, right? Because you left and then came back, and so like at that point it just becomes very weird just very hard to leave again, because then you're like, well, why did you come back in the first place? And people are like, well, why'd you ever leave Oklahoma? And so whatever. I hope that Trey Bradford finds his way wherever it is, but it does mean the running back room gains a little bit more clarity. Like Jake said, those are the three guys. Okay, now my brain's spinning on this. Before we get Saints camp, Jake, what of the running back room? Same thing with the quarterback rooms, evenly split reps. John Emery, the bell cow. What did you see thus far?
Yeah, there was a ton of split reps. And by the way, again, I said it the other day when we were breaking down the running backs. Josh Williams is still somebody that I think that we need to count on, because LSU counts on him. And I saw that again in practice. Like, he was in there. He's in the mix. He's a scholarship player. I know he didn't come to LSU as a scholarship player. He was the guy that actually got hurt his senior year in high school, and that's why he didn't get some of the scholarship offers. Now, he had scholarship offers, but just not to maybe major schools, and he got hurt, and then he came here, earned a scholarship. He earned it after his freshman year. Remember, it was incredibly quick. He is still in the mix. And so it was a rotation. That's, at least on paper, it's kind of what it seems like it's going to be, unless somebody takes that job over.
And so we'll continue to watch the LSU camp continue. What about New Orleans Saints camp, though? And I'd like to shout out Rod Walker, Luke Johnson, Jeff Duncan, Nick Underhill, everybody covering camp right now. Everything we're about to talk about is only with their excellent reporting coming back our way. But I didn't realize this, Jake. We are now halfway through New Orleans Saints camp. 10 practices down, 11 to go. Now, it's really less than halfway, not just because 10, 11, but you still got 3 preseason games, right? And so it's going to be a little more spread out here over the end. But it's wild how this thing is hurtling along. The 3 games start with the Texans this Saturday. Also, is this the first 3 preseason game year as opposed to 4? Am I crazy?
I think last year was 3 games.
Last year was 3 as well?
Yeah, because you had the extra regular season game.
Oh, that's right. Duh. Anyway, so 3 games starting with the Texans this Saturday. And for all the talk that the Cannon was trying to put out there about quarterback controversy, it appears like Jameis Winston is starting to heat up a bit, as he had some very good practices over the weekend. And Nick Underhill of New Orleans on Football did a statistical deep dive. And, Jake, just in team drills, okay? So what you really care about, right? 11-11, not 7-on-7.
Right.
Jameis is 40 of 60, okay? 66% completion percentage, great. 65 and above is great. It's what you want if your guy's going to be a top quarterback. 0 picks in those 60 attempts, which, it's still a relatively small sample size, but that's a good thing, right? I mean, that was ideally what you want. Maybe what is most interesting about Nick's statistical breakdown of Winston thus far are his targets. As the most in team drills, he's been targeted 9 of the 60 passes. Chris Olave. And he's caught 7 of them things. Then it's Jarvis Landry with 8. He's caught 4. Then Traquan Smith, Deontay Hardy, Kirk Merritt, Mike Thomas, and Marquez Callaway. Now, Mike Thomas is so low on that list because, as we'll get to, he just returned 2 full team drills the other day and looked fantastic in doing so. Otherwise, he would be higher. But it's not just Winston targeting Olave, Jake. It's all the quarterbacks. If you look at who has been targeted most in camp, it is the rookie, Chris Olave. And that's especially interesting given that is a team with Jarvis Landry, who has also had a really good camp and showed why he is so trusted, why he's such a good route runner, how he's made it in this league. But Chris Olave looks like he is ready to step on the NFL field and play immediately.
And that's really something you're seeing around the league. I mean, you were seeing these high-profile first-round receivers be able to come into the NFL and dominate. Look at Jamar.
Yeah.
Look at Justin. I mean, those guys came in with their hair on fire. I mean, they were from day one ready to compete. Remember Jamar, like all the conversation about he's dropping the football, he's having an awful training camp. Preseason, he's had 1 catch, 2 catches, and everybody panicked. And then he went out there and made himself a top 5 receiver in all of the NFL. So it's a different game. It's just a different game now with the way that you grow up, throwing the football, recognizing coverages, running routes. You can come in and you can dominate as a rookie, and you can be trusted as a rookie. And that's something we just didn't see for a very long time. Like, you tried to integrate yourself slowly when you were a young football player because the coverages and just all the disguising of coverages fooled you. But now, I mean, you've grown up in the 7-on-7 world, and you can go out there and you can dominate.
So that is, I think you hit on it there. And I wonder if there's any way of, like, proving this from a data or analytical standpoint, but the impact that this constant year-round 7-on-7 is having in terms of guys playing immediately. Like, when I was on Chuck Oliver's show the other day, he was saying that in his mind, he always thought it was like the hardest for receivers to find the field as a freshman, which I don't know that I ever agreed with. I always felt like maybe the lines were a little bit tougher, maybe especially O-line, but I don't know. Like, I can't remember what his reasoning was. It was that simply in high school back in the day, like, receivers are just so much bigger. In high school, you just go and catch the ball, right? You don't got to be really crisp in your routes or anything, blah, blah, blah. Well, nowadays, you're right, both in the NFL and college level, we're seeing more day one success out of these caps, and I can't help but wonder, is it because they are spending their summers now constantly running routes, constantly working on routes, and a lot of times, Jake, constantly going against the best competition, right? Not just like, okay, let's say you play at like a 2A private school or whatever, and you go against who you go against. No, during the summer, you're out there like on tour, essentially, constantly working on your craft, and what it's leading to is just more and more polished products. And so I wonder if that is maybe one of the explanatory factors behind all this.
I think it is. I mean, it has to be. And getting those reps every single day in the summertime, every single day really now while you're playing, because like you're not going to see obviously a ton of coverages in high school, but you're going to see enough, and you're going to run enough routes, and you're going to understand space and timing in your routes. I mean, way more than you ever. Like, I went to a high school where we were 5 wide, and you know, nobody, in fact, was doing it at that time, and I felt like we had the benefit because we were doing it every single day. We could run routes that other teams just couldn't run because they weren't practicing those routes. I mean, other teams, you had a curl, you had a go, and you had a slant.
Yeah.
Like, we're running 18-yard dig routes and, you know, understanding coverages. And that, look, Evangel, we never had maybe the athletes that a lot of people thought we had, but we had great coaching, and we knew exactly what our offense was and how to run our offense. And so now you get that everywhere. Like, everybody is there. Look, you can look up, and there's tournaments every weekend, right? No matter where we're looking, there's tournaments every weekend. We were talking with Jim Nagy when we were there in Atlanta. He's like, yeah, man, we got one at South Alabama this weekend. We're going to go up to Birmingham because he's got a son that age. We're going to Birmingham the next weekend. Then we're going to Montgomery. I'm like, every weekend? He's like, yeah, every weekend.
Every weekend. It's like travel baseball, only football. There's no, I wish there's a line equivalent, but there's not. I mean, you can do one-on-ones in like shells and stuff.
Running back either, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could be a really good route runner.
Yeah,
not
but
running back, but yeah.
They used to let me come like to the 7-on-7 tournaments, like as a running back, and you just like sit there. It's like you get like 7 routes, and you're like, hey, run a flare.
Yeah.
You get to run an angle route, and you're like, ha, 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 ha. Yes,
got him. Okay, so we got a little hung up there. We will dive into the rest of Saints camp, though. I got a lot of thoughts. Mike Thomas being chief among them. Cajun Merck said, first off, Brian Bird says, weekend winner, me, for getting 2 awards at work. Congratulations, Brian. Thank you for your service as well. Military man there. And then Cajun Merck says, weekend winner, me, because my wife got a Brazilian wax this weekend. To which Scott responds, holy crap, that's awesome. Then Scott says, weekend winner, me, trying hymns and making it a pog-smashing weekend for me. Y'all need to calm down immediately.
Whoa.
Right now, Chad, okay?
It's 8:33 on Monday, man.
On a Monday. It is 8:33. It is, we got to be focused, like I said, on the task at hand. It's not horny time yet. You can't be this horny till like after Thursday. Or maybe we'll start Thursday morning, okay? So let's just dial it back. This is not, you're not in trouble, okay? You know, no one's upset. This is just a little constructive criticism here, but I'm happy for you boys. We'll be back with more camp coverage next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu. We keep telling you that the ITI Technical College is local and family owned, which they are and have been for 50 years. I love all the tried and true businesses that we get to work with and do advertising for. But the campus is right here in Baton Rouge, and it's a beautiful campus with wonderful facilities, faculty members who have at least 4 years of real-world experience in what they're going to be teaching you. And remember, they cater to the industry here in Louisiana. So if you thought about getting into drafting or construction management, they can help you accomplish those dreams in just 2 years. You get that AOS degree. Go to iticollege.edu.
All right, so fall classes start August the 29th. Hurry today and go ahead and check out the campus. Give them a call because they're going to work with you to try to get you to the finish line. Give them a call today. You can go to the website. You can find the number. You can find the location. You can set up that tour that we always talk about. Go to the website today, iticollege.edu.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you. Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Tigers are back on the practice field. We'll get you an LSU camp report, and we'll head down to New Orleans to check in on the Saints. Join us Monday, 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. What is Monday going on? Emil McClellan, my host co-host on the LSU football podcast, great job, sent me a Reddit link, the confession subreddit that is so weird and out there that I don't even feel comfortable mentioning it on air. So that's, as far as teases go, that's not the best, but go look it up if you want. Okay, other big Saints news to get to over the weekend. Boys, on Saturday, the former NFL Offensive Player of the Year, our guy, Mike Thomas, back in full team drills. Jake, how about it? Another step of getting closer back to the game. I guess basically now, like, fully back, right? I think they're doing like a little 3 days on, 1 day off type of deal with him. But on Saturday, in full team drills, first return to full team drills, targeted 4 times, caught 3. What I love, Jake, it sounds like he was kind of paired up with Paulson Adebo. Marshawn Lattimore's dealing with a slight muscle injury that they're saying is not a big deal. But, you know, like a muscle strain, muscle tear, something like that should be okay, though, according to the team. But meaning Paulson Adebo, who has been the MVP of camp in most of the riders' minds thus far, going up against Mike Thomas. It's a wonderful matchup for Adebo, who's looking to take a massive step forward. And he won one of them. He knocked away one of the balls. But Mike Thomas coming out ahead the majority of the time.
Yeah, I love the plan that Mike Thomas is on. You get him back in practice. You get him on full team drills there. But he doesn't have to be the only guy. And I think that's what's important. You have Chris Olave, who you mentioned. He's got the top targets. You have Jarvis Landry. You have even a guy in Adam Troutman who he got 6 targets as well if you go down to the tight end list. So you've got other guys that are there. So it doesn't only have to be you. You don't have to feel like, man, I've got to be out there more. I need to help my team more, as far as, you know, maybe trying to overdo it. Now, once the game comes over, if you want to, take over, that's one thing. But here in practice, you have other bodies that are able players. You're talking about Jarvis Landry, Pro Bowl guy. You're talking about Chris Olave, first-round pick. And so you can kind of integrate yourself slowly enough to where it doesn't risk you re-hurting yourself.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, and it's wild because on the edges, the wide receiver core offensively is incredibly exciting with everybody you just named, but also the secondary is incredibly exciting with the rise of Adebo. Rod Walker wrote a very simple sentence that kind of blew my mind when you think about the perspective of the Saints at times during the Peyton Breeze era, and that was that he said, quote, "The secondary is the strength of the team." When you think back to guys like Jason David and Brandon Browner and some of those dark times which you were giving up record amounts of yards, that has a way of scarring you and sticking with you to sit here now and think of these secondaries not just being good, but the strength of the team, maybe one of the best in the NFL. It's a simple statement that carries a lot of weight. And it's not just like even C.D. Deuce right now, who is currently sitting out. He's doing walkthroughs, but he's sitting out over a contract dispute. He wants an extension. Hopefully the sides can come to a lead, but maybe not helping C.D.'s case too much, though, this doesn't mean too much either, is that they kind of haven't missed a beat without him. And Marshawn Lattimore goes down, and that's okay. Bradley Roby steps in. Alante Taylor, like they have a solid crew right now. And Paulson Adebo, who just continues to carry himself with more and more confidence, which of course he is. He started as a rookie. I cannot fathom how overwhelming it is to be like an every down starter as a rookie and how much different you feel going into year 2. I mean, Jake, you can maybe speak to some of that.
And he didn't play football for a year. Like he sat out. Like think about that.
No football year into being an every down starter.
Every down starter. So that's something I cannot speak on. But as far as expectations, when you are a rookie starter in the NFL, like, oh my gosh, you're just putting so much pressure on yourself, trying not to let the vets down.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't start until like, I think week 8 or 9 of my rookie season. So I can't imagine being like, hey, you're day one. You're going out there with some 10, 11, 12-year vets on the defense side of the football.
Did he pick off Aaron Rodgers game 1? Am I crazy? Did I make that up? I feel like Adebo got Rodgers on one, maybe.
We can verify.
Yeah, look it up. Sorry, continue.
No, so like for me, like that was my mindset. I'm sure you go out there, and so, but everything's heightened. So when you don't want to disappoint the vets, like you're making sure that you're doing everything you possibly can. And some guys, it burns them out a little bit, but Paulson Adebo, he stayed solid throughout the entire season. That was the most impressive thing to me. He didn't have like 6 games out to shoot, and he's like really, really good. And then all of a sudden you just start to see the rookie decline, which, look, rookie decline is real. It's such a long year.
Dude.
But maybe, you know what? Honestly, though, maybe not playing football for a year helped him
okay.
stay there throughout
The
the
flip
season,
side.
right? Because he didn't have that year where he's going all the way until January. And then you work out for the combine. You work out, you go to the Senior Bowl. Then you come back, you continue working out for the combine. You go to the combine, you go back, work out for pro day, you go to pro day, and then all of a sudden after pro day, you get drafted and you're in minicamp.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So maybe some of that helped him not have that decline.
Adebo did get Rodgers in the first game. Three
Yeah.
interceptions on the season, including one in week 1.
And so now, though, to go from that to then being a year 2 player with a full season in that building under your belt, knowing, I mean, whatever. In my own experience in college football, not even being a true freshman, but starting year 1 to starting year 2 was the biggest difference in terms of how the game slows down, the confidence with you carry yourself. I'm continue to be hyped on Paulson Adebo, and it's an earned hype. It's because he's showing up at practice every single day and kicking ass. So as I said, C.D. Deuce in a contract dispute. He's limited himself to walkthroughs. He missed a couple of days for personal reasons. Dennis Allen expects him back today. Other notes for what it's worth, Trevor Penning took some first-team reps at left tackle over the weekend, which, of course, they're going to continue to work him and Hurst at that position. And then maybe the biggest news of the day, Will Lutz is back. And Will Lutz is back. Thus far during camp, Will Lutz is 19 of 20. His only miss was a 57-yarder, which he promptly reloaded and made. And when you are talking about the NFL, this is why Urban Meyer was so stupid in how he treated Lamb last year, is that, like, I get it. You want to mess with kickers. You know, they don't know the running and lifting all the time, blah, 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 blah. But in the NFL, like, kickers are the difference between making the playoffs or not, between winning in the playoffs or not. It's not like some, like, little add-on position. Like, you don't just blow people out every week because you're at Ohio State. You need your kicker. And the Saints fans know that. I mean, that was one of the big differences in last year, not making the playoffs. So Will Lutz being back, being healthy, and knocking in 19 of 20, that is massive news.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been a part of a playoff game where our kicker missed either 2 or 3 field goals and we lost because of it. Like, it is something that is painful. I've also been in a situation where our kicker got hurt and we were just shuffling guys in and it lost us games in the regular season. If you have a guy like that you can count on, it is as important as almost any position out there in the NFL. Like, you've got to have some guaranteed success. We saw last year with the Saints, the carousel. Like, all 3 of those positions, snapper, kicker, punter, like, they have to be people that it's guaranteed. Like, there's no room for error almost. Like you mentioned, like 19 to 20, it's like, okay, well, he wanted to reload it and be able to make that again. So it was something for the Saints that we noticed last year. You don't notice it until it goes awry. So, look, no, Will Lutz, absolutely have him back healthy.
Yeah, I've never thought about that. From a play, like number of plays, from a play to impact standpoint, by far the most impactful position, right? Sure, they're in there for the lowest volume, but generally their plays mean the most. So Will Lutz back, huge for the New Orleans Saints. We will close out hour number 2 next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yeah, I mean, I know we mentioned every time, but here, Avo Marzwanen's talking about McPherson and the Bengals. I mean, look at what he did. Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. When you're talking about a Toyota, you are talking about Japanese engineering that will stand the test of time. We live in an age where vehicles are holding their value better than ever, but still nobody holds their value better than a Toyota. So if you want to hop on board, join the family, go into All-Star. If you need to trade in your car, again, you're going to get a great deal. Best time to trade in is right now. Then you can buy new to your certified used vehicles. You can lease, you can rent. It's all there for you at All-Star Toyota.
Yeah, go to the website. You can see the full fleet is available and everything that we talk about. That's just not going to be the case anywhere else. So if you're buying, if you're leasing, and if you're renting, remember per day rental prices and everything is available. If you need something bigger, if you need something smaller, better gas mileage for a trip, whatever it is, they've got you covered. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
This week on DropBiscuit.com or wherever you listen to podcasts is our new series, Pops, the Louis Armstrong story. Pops is brought to you by New Orleans & Company. Check out NewOrleans.com and come visit New Orleans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Tigers are back on the practice field. We'll get you an LSU camp report, and we'll head down to New Orleans and check in on the Saints. Join us Monday, 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Talking New Orleans Saints here. Wrap up hour number 2. Wrap up our Saints talk, and it's more general sports and shenanigans in hour 3. What's up?
T-Bob, there was a pretty cool article on ESPN.com, and it had the NFL's 13 luxury positions, right? So positions that maybe you don't sit there and you don't talk about a ton, but certainly they're going to be valuable to your team. And the Saints had 2 players in these categories, and it was the best number 5 receiver in the NFL, Deontay Hardy.
Yep.
He received that. So, hey, you got to have a number 5 receiver.
Nice research. Whoever sat down and tried to look up the number 5 receiver on each team.
And then you also had the best swing tackle in James Hurst.
Really?
Yeah. Gave him the best swing tackle in the NFL.
See, I've never actually, I guess the greatest thing that I can say about James Hurst, I've never looked up his PFF grades or anything like that, but if we're being honest, I didn't notice a ton of difference when it was him versus Teron Armstead. Now, there definitely was some difference, and especially maybe on the ground more than in pass blocking, but that's a huge credit to James Hurst. Speaking of on the ground, the Saints continue to kind of need another running back as Mark Ingram. I didn't realize this. Y'all know Mark Ingram's the second oldest running back in the NFL right now?
That doesn't surprise me.
At 32 years old. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's a position where I guess you just don't, tend to stand the test of time past 30. In the last 3 years, he's gone from 5 yards carry to 4.2 to 3.5. As Jeff Duncan writes, a, quote, ominous sign. Now, obviously, we know that last year, but even Kamara took a huge step back there because the Saints couldn't throw the ball, or they didn't have a lot of threats, right? So they were just running against stacked boxes constantly. But if Mark Ingram is your backup and he's the second oldest in the NFL, yeah, the Saints still need to address that position. They're hoping that Abram Smith can be that guy, but we'll see. And good, not good riddance. That's mean. Happy trails to Kiko Alonso, Jake. You see this?
Yeah.
So he missed the last 2 seasons. Remember, he tore his ACL in the Vikings playoff loss.
Right.
Ended up getting dealt, I think, for the Quan deal back in the day. But the Saints brought him in. First time in 2 years he's played. He went out there for 1 practice. He promptly retired. Right after practice, he was like, "You know what? I think I'm done." Everybody hits their point at some point. I just like the idea of throwing on the pads, getting out there, being like, "Oh wait, never mind."
I get it.
Mind, dude.
I get it. If you ain't fully in, you don't need to be in at all. You cannot half-step into playing in the NFL, certainly at that position. So, hey, he's like, I want to try it. I want to try it with the Saints. I'm good.
It is amazing, though, to me, like the vets and just how differently they can kind of approach practice compared to being a young person or someone trying to, like, make the teams where, a young guy that practices everything that he's ever, like, wanted, and he desperately needs to be out there, and he's stressed out about playing well and doing well. And then you've got vets like Eric Weddle that can just be like, "Oh, I guess I'll play in the NFL again."
Yeah.
Or Kiko Alonso, who's like, "Yeah, I'll just, let's go practice. It's been a couple of years. Let's go to an NFL practice and just see how it goes." Or it's like for some guys, that's the culmination of a lifetime's entire work. It's amazing, dude. All right, hour number 3 of OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuva me. If you want to feel younger and better, bigger, faster, stronger, you can with Rejuve Me Medical, where they're going to draw your labs and you'll meet with a lifestyle specialist and they'll customize a plan for you. Maybe hormone replacement therapy is for you. Maybe it's not. Okay, the point is it's not one size fits all Rejuve Me. Again, they customize a plan. What is true is that you will feel younger. You will have more energy rolling out of bed, more rolling into bed. The quality of life will improve. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com today.
Yeah, once you go there, you can get that consultation set up right there on the website, top right corner of the site. But also check out a list of conditions that they can treat: fatigue and insomnia, mood and memory problems, thyroid deficiency, weight gain, so many different things. But you can't get on that plan to success unless you schedule that consultation. Do it today at 225-230-4201.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Good morning, everybody. It's 9 a.m. on Monday, August 8th. Your government taco forecast today in Baton Rouge. Expect to see sunny skies with a high of 90. Follow Government Taco on Instagram at GOVT Taco for monthly and daily specials. Coming up on OTB, Hold the Mayo, Devin Snow joins the show at 9:15. You can follow the rest of today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN. Or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Paulie hanging out with you today. Like Mario alluded to there, we got our guy Devin Snow coming up soon. It's been a pretty interesting article as well. The 25 most anticipated games of the 2022 season. And, well, I completely forgot what I wanted to talk about. This is embarrassing. I had oh my God, I was so excited for it. And then I got distracted down a Twitter hole. Coming up on Spread Lines, what we'll talk about with the guy Devin Snow. On the list today, we got London Foods, Sam Mills, Dev's Day at Training Camp, Woodstock 99 documentary, and Smoke Monday. Some other weekend winners we did not get to. Weekend winner. Even though, I don't know, I guess it only benefited Matt. But my excellent joke about having sex with an 18-year-old bottle of whiskey hit 1 million views on TikTok. So, yeah, there you go. Got a fresh millie off some very lowbrow, crude humor.
I mean, can you tell him stop using your likeness for his likes? I mean, what are we doing here?
That is true. His top 3 TikToks are just me making jokes on our various shows. It's... I love the idea of these 3 jokes paired together. One is about how much would you pay for the semen of Archie Manning Sr.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is about having sex with an 18-year-old bottle of whiskey. And the other one is about lubing up your rectum, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's me. Sometimes you look in the mirror and you convince yourselves that that's not you, but at the end of the day, I just got to accept that that's me. That's my humor, and it's kind of my strength, I guess, is being loud and crude. So here we are.
Maybe you should start your own TikTok, and you can, since it's all you You can have your own.
I need someone to I don't want to sit there and edit them though. I would ideally have someone who would.
You are. I mean, you already kind of have somebody that does other stuff for you. Just see if Rivers can set it up. She's good at the TikTok.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe so. We'll see. Either way. Okay, well, that's about that. Here we go. Here are the 25 most anticipated games of 2022. How about this? This is ranked. This is coming from 247sports.com. Let's see what they have. Oh, look at this. Number 25 on the list. Florida State, LSU, September 4th. Let's get going. Then a little Miami, Clemson, which of course that's going to be exciting. Auburn, Alabama. I don't know. Well, okay, let's talk about Auburn in a second. Notre Dame at USC. Do like that quite a bit. And then Penn State at Michigan.
Backyard Brawl is opening week. That's a game I'm looking forward to, man. The Pitt and West Virginia game.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I was gonna talk to you about that one because I was like, God, T-Bob has this obsession with West Virginia.
Yeah, dude.
I bet he's more excited about that game than anybody in Baton Rouge.
I do get very excited for West Virginia games. I've been on the bad side of a few ones, a good side on some others, but I cannot claim to actually ever know much about West Virginia. I just watch them and cheer for. I know they got JT Daniels. Let's ride, boys. Let's do it. I think the coach is still Neil Brown from Troy.
It is.
Right?
It is. This is kind of like a make or break year for
This
old
is
Neil.
a make or break year for Neil. I'm a firm believer in him, but that's just because he beat LSU, so of course I would be, right? It's a very small sample size of which I'm drawing every Neil Brown opinion that I have. And it's a good sample size as well. Or not in size, but in quality.
Is there a game on that list that you were like, okay, yeah, for sure, no matter what's going on around me, I want to circle this game?
Out of this grouping of 5 that I just named, and outside of Florida State LSU, because obviously we're going to be on that one in depth, Notre Dame at USC, without a doubt. 2 new coaches taking over very storied programs, and you just want to see, man. I mean, that'll be November 26th, so if USC is about it, then, I think, I know Notre Dame will be good, right? Are we doubting that?
No, I think so. They return a lot. I mean, they return a lot.
That's what I'm saying, right? We think Notre Dame will probably be fantastic. So if USC is good, that could be a great game. Okay, next up on the list, they got Clemson, Wake Forest at 19. Okay, dude. Clemson at Wake Forest. We'll see. Wisconsin at Ohio State. Michigan State at Michigan, of course. Big year for Mel Tucker, right? What does he need to do?
He won a New Year's Six bowl game last year. You go out there and you win 9 games. I think you're still.
I was going to say they paid him to be a consistent 9-3, 10-2 guy. Really eventually higher. But he has to prove that last year was not a flash in the pan because obviously there's a lot of doubt anytime you see a guy get jumped up to the financial status that he did. And we always talk about with that money comes great expectation. And so I feel like Mel Tucker really has to have a good year this year to kind of just make sure that, because if you don't, then you immediately get everybody coming out of the woodwork being like, I told you so, I told you it wasn't that good, it was just a bidding war, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like how, it's like the Coach O and Gene Chizik thing a bit, where you tried to fight it off, and I still think that there are differences therein, I ultimately can't really win that argument too easily. You got Miami at Texas A&M, which absolutely you might as well call that the NIL Bowl, right? I mean, Ruiz versus the Oilmen. Let's ride. Who wouldn't be interested in that? That's September 17th, too, so an early one there.
So September 17th, I'm glad you mentioned that one, T-Bob. That is a week that I'm maybe more excited about than any outside of opening week, because opening week is opening week. September the 17th, you've got that game that you mentioned. You got Texas A&M and Miami and College Station, but you have a couple of games that I'm telling you, pay attention to. You've got Fresno State at USC.
Okay.
All right, because USC's got a lot of hype. Fresno State last year was 10-3. Jeff Tedford is back as the Fresno State head coach.
Teddy.
Fresno State returns 15 starters, including their quarterback, Jake Hayner, who was going to go to Washington with the Fresno coach that left, decided Fresno's going to be really good, maybe better than Washington, so I'm going to stay here at Fresno State. That is a game I'm just telling you could have implications because everyone hyping USC up so much. Also,
more like Jake Stainer.
Because
he stayed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it 2005, Fresno State and USC implications?
Yeah.
And then you've got in the Mountain West again, September the 17th, San Diego State at Utah. San Diego State last year, T-Bob, 12-2.
Oh.
Including a win.
The Aztecs.
Over Utah. That nobody talks about.
I do not remember them beating Utah.
Yes, they beat Utah. It was like 3 overtimes.
Is Brady Hoke the coach? Is Brady Hoke the coach?
He's
there?
back as the coach, so it's kind of a common theme. Tedford's back at
Head-side on the
Fresno.
sideline?
Hoke's back at San Diego State. He went back as an assistant after, obviously he left, went to Michigan. He came back as an assistant. Then he got elevated to head coach. 12-2. They returned 13 starters, and they're going to face Utah on September the 17th. So there's some great matchups that week. LSU plays Mississippi State that week, by the way. So it's always interesting here on this show.
We do know, too, that you have a little love for San Diego State, being that you spent time out there.
Yeah.
Does Brady Hoke wear a headset on the sidelines yet? Do we know?
Probably not.
Those were these things I used to clown him for at Michigan. He was like, "Why do I want to?" It's like, what? What do you mean?
Whatever he did, he was a head coach last year, and they were 12-2 and beat Utah.
Look,
the
credit to
Pac-12
him.
champion.
And he had to do very good in order to get that original Michigan job as well. Sometimes, environment, like you say, nature, nurture. Number 15 on the list is Baylor at Oklahoma. Of course, Oklahoma in the news because Kale Gundy, a long-time assistant coach, been there for 23 years or something around there. Longest tenured coach in the Big 12. In fact, Kale Gundy resigns last night, kind of in the night, as he had, it wasn't a Notes app, but it essentially was a Notes app tweet where he wrote out a long letter to Sooner Nation and everybody else apologizing. I guess that he says that somebody wasn't paying attention to our meetings. They were supposed to be taking notes. They were writing something else. Maybe it's a text or something. He grabs the phone and he reads it off. It contained a word that he said, he said, contained a, quote, word that I should never, under any circumstance, have uttered, which I'm imagining would be the N-word, right? I think that's pretty much what everybody is saying here. He go on to say, quote, the unfortunate reality is that someone in my position can cause harm without ever meaning to do so. In that circumstance, a man of character accepts accountability. I take responsibility for this mistake. I apologize. He did said that as soon as he read it, he was horrified with what he had done. It's interesting because many have come out in very vocal support of Gundy here. In fact, the report goes on to say that there was a team meeting and the majority of players wanted him to stay. But he just said that he felt like it would be a distraction and that he chose to walk away. Now, what's interesting about this to me is that if this is all that happened, and I say all a bit hesitantly because I don't think I'm someone who can really sit here and should be weighing on how bad this is, given that I don't have much personal experience having to deal with it. But if this is what happened, I think this is a bit surprising maybe to resign over. I think I'm going to hold off too much kind of judgment on this story until maybe we get a full story in that, I don't know, a lot of people are saying it's a weird time, Sunday night at midnight, weird timing. It's got to be really bad for him to do this. And so I don't know, maybe there's some details that we don't have, but pretty wild. The longest tenured coach in the Big 12 out, kind of out of nowhere and in a big year for the Sooners, obviously under Brent Venables.
Yeah, this is obviously a story that we just found out, as at least I did. I don't know if you, T.
I saw it like 10 minutes before the show.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know it. We were during one of the breaks, and I was asking you if you had seen the story. So, yeah, I'm with you. Obviously, it is a serious issue, and we'll see what kind of comes of it. And you mentioned the team meeting and everyone, and then other players of past have come out in support. So there's definitely going to be something probably, more to this. And as we find out, we can react to it a little bit better. But, he's been there for a very, very long time. Kale Gundy's been there for multiple coaches.
It sounds like he's been a really great resource. So, you know what one of the problems is some of the most vocal and most well-written and best support that he got comes from Joe Mixon, which you can mention that, but then obviously people are going to attack Joe Mixon. And look, I don't like Joe Mixon. I never have for his own stuff. But crazy weird break there from for Gundy as he is out at Oklahoma. Baylor at Oklahoma though, November 5th. Alabama at Arkansas on October 1st. Maybe will be interesting. We'll have to
Where
see.
was this list at?
247 Sports.
Okay. All right.
Why?
Just I feel like there's a lot of games that they left off, and some of the games that they included that I'm like, You think that's going to be a?
Yeah, like Alabama, Arkansas will end up being a blowout.
Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about that one. I'm just, maybe some of the ones that you've rattled off there. Should we come up with our own list of
we can do our own list.
Top 15 games, and we'll have it for our listeners tomorrow?
I'd be down for that.
Okay. I think top 15 games that could impact college football.
Number
CFP.
Number 13 on this list. Well, that's maybe a different question. Could impact CFP might be different from best games.
Right,
like
we
you
can do
said,
best
like,
games.
we'll
do best games.
Like a San Diego State or something like that would not, have much of a chance.
But that's where you missed it. It affects Utah.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Who was the Pac-12 champion?
No, I know.
If you believe the hype around USC, then the Fresno State impacts the CFP.
I'm still doubting that the Pac-12 factors into the CFP conversation.
Well, I think that when you look at what Utah did a year ago, just talking about Utah a lot on 84. I mean, there's a lot of people
Utah, dude,
that believe that they can take that step from going to Pac-12 champion to maybe CFP participant because of who they have coming back.
Yeah. Number 13 on the list, Oregon versus Georgia, obviously, right? Two big names, Dan Lanning. And as we talk about Pac-12 trying to find their way back to the CFP, right? Oregon going to be one they look forward to. Number 12 on the list here, Jake, Utah at Oregon. There you go. A little Pac-12 on Pac-12 there. Number 11, Clemson at Notre Dame. Top 10, Ohio State at Penn State. Tennessee at Georgia. Oh, wow. Tennessee, Georgia in the top 10. Maybe it's because they expect Tennessee to challenge in the East. Either way. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma on November 19th. NC State at Clemson. Jake, that has to warm your heart. Coming in at number 7, dude. Your Wolfpack, too sweet, getting some love.
Yeah, it's going to be at Clemson. Remember last year, overtime game there in Raleigh. And NC State, y'all know, I've talked about it for a long time. That is one of the sleeper teams, I think, across the country.
Oklahoma, Texas at 6. And then the top 5 games. 2020, USC at Utah. Jeez, the Pac-12 hype. The USC hype's out of control, dude.
I know.
It's going to be October 15th.
Remember, UCLA scored 60-something points on USC last year and beat them by like 4 touchdowns. And they were 8-4, and USC was 4-8. I realize the change that USC has. That defense is still that defense, though, and Alex Grinch is still calling it defense, right? Oklahoma, we remember the 8-touchdown game, right? So there's still defensive questions for USC, and UCLA, to me, still has plenty of offensive pieces. But, sorry, continue.
Alabama at Texas is number 4.
Week 2, same week that LSU went to Austin and played them.
I mean,
it's in Austin, but
Alabama is going to smash Texas. Like, they are going to grind them into dust. I think that's an awful choice. And I get the storylines, right? But it doesn't matter. At a certain point, the quality of the game has to get into play. Notre Dame at Ohio State at number 3. A lot of Notre Dame love on this list. Number 2, Texas A&M at Alabama. Another interesting one that I expect, A&M to get absolutely smashed there. And the number 1 biggest game of the year, Michigan at Ohio State. Little Big Ten battle. There you go. From 247sports.com. When we get back, let's do some spread lines with our guy Devin Snow. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Hey, we got a new sponsor here on the show, okay? And that's our boys over there at Riverlands Insurance, Louisiana. Riverlands is the largest progressive agent in the entire state of Louisiana. In fact, they were voted the number 1 insurance workplace in 2022 by the Insurance Business Magazine, which I'm sure you all subscribe to. But look, no, the real thing is here. No matter what insurance you need, you go to Riverlands Insurance, right? And it is your one-stop shop. They represent over 100 insurance carriers right in business right here in LA. They have grown astronomically over the past decades, and it's because their customers are consistently satisfied. So if you need home insurance, car insurance, business, it's all there for you at Riverlands Insurance.
Look, large enough to help you with all your insurance needs, but they're still going to provide you with that personal touch and that personal relationship. Like, here is Thomas's cell phone number. 225-206-1517, Riverlands Insurance.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown
Moscona, inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Tigers are back on the practice field. We'll get you an LSU camp report, and we'll head down to New Orleans and check in on the Saints. Join us Monday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? T-Bob and Jake back with you, and we got spread lines coming up with Dev here next segment. But right now, it is that time of year. It is 8/8/2022, which, let me check my math, 3 days away from August 11th.
So proud of you, T-Bob.
You're saying, T-Bob, why is August 11th so important? Well, if you listen to the station, you've probably heard of 811. Call before you dig, right? Well, 811, 811. I think you get it now, okay? And we have our guy, Brent Saltzman, here from 811 to break it all down for you. Brent, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, it's going great. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you again, my friend. You
Yeah.
always bring us interesting little goodie bags of treats and pens and notebooks and whatnot, and I appreciate it. I haven't seen what we have in the
Yeah, you're not going to
document.
get any of it.
Wow.
It's got, y'all know me. Y'all know I color code everything with my pens and my Post-it notes, and he always brings us like fantastic notebooks that have Post-it tabs that are already attached to the notebook. So
Yeah.
you don't get those, T-Bob.
That's fine. I mean, to be fair, as we discussed at the beginning of the show, you are
Yeah.
more prone to use those than am I. Brent, so what's up, man? It's August 8th today in 3 days. First off, 811 call for your dig. I mean, I love it because it's all kind of pretty self-explanatory right there in the name. But if I'm doing something in my home that requires breaking ground, I need to call y'all first.
Right, T-Bob. And it's a simple process. Like, why would you not do that? Why would you not contact 811? Again, it's a free call. And, of course, our role is actually act as a liaison between homeowners and professional excavators and the utility companies and pipeline companies. So we just take vital information from you, asking where you're going to be performing that digging activity. We convey that to the utility companies, the appropriate utility companies that have facilities in that area. And they go out and mark those lines. And I got to actually have a little color code card. We have these. These colors mean the same thing. It doesn't matter where you are in the United States. It's the American Public Works, Public Works Association color code chart. The ones, of course, that can really get you in trouble, red and yellow. Right. Red is your power line, yellow is your gas line, but all utilities are important, all utilities. So, again, that's our role.
Yeah.
Again, is the act as the liaison between the both parties.
Cut my AT&T fiber. We're fighting, okay?
Yes, indeed.
I need internet.
Yes, indeed. And I tell you what, to your point, that happened to me ages ago. I'm telling on myself.
To you?
Yes, to me. Before I was involved in the program. Hey, I want to clarify that.
What are we talking about?
Before I was involved in the program, I didn't know, out of ignorance. I was planting a tree in my backyard. I started digging a hole. I didn't contact 811. I cut my Cox line going to my house. That thing was only about 6 inches deep in the ground. And, of course, I'm out of my internet service, my phone service, my telephone service. And I had to pay them to come repair them online. So, I can appreciate that. Yeah, don't be a knucklehead like myself. I learned the hard way.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because 811 is a program across the country. But here in Louisiana, we have unique circumstances in the fact that, you know, we're below sea level and things can be right at the surface where you might not get that everywhere.
That's correct. And I tell you what, the pipeline, we actually show a pipeline network whenever we're providing presentations. The number of pipelines in Louisiana, it will blow your mind.
Really?
It's incredible how many pipelines we have in our area. As a matter of fact, one of our partners, one of our pipeline companies in Lafayette area not too long ago, they sent me a picture. It was a fence contractor. They're augering the poles, and, of course, those pipeline companies, they always have people patrolling their area, and they're augering these poles right next to a pipeline warning marker. And, of course, they could have killed themselves, blown up the entire neighborhood. Again, it's a simple process. Like, why would you not contact 811?
Well, and so what's interesting is not only is it a very simple process to get in touch with Louisiana 811, just call 811 at 1-800-272-3020, but also it's the law.
That's right. It
is actually required.
This
is not just to help you out or your neighbors. You have to do this.
That's correct. And we always encourage folks, if you're going to have work on your property, say you're going to have a stump ground or something like that, or an irrigation system put in, make sure they have a valid dig ticket. Those tickets are good for 20 calendar days or as long as the marks are visible, up to 20 days. So that you make sure hold them accountable as well. You definitely want to make sure you do that as well.
Brent, so we're 3 days away. Remember, Louisiana 811, call before you dig. It is indeed the law, and it just protects everybody. Like Brent said, man, you got burned firsthand by this. It's not you. I mean, it could be your neighbors, but also maybe you cost yourself a lot of money as well. So just know what's below. Brent, did we leave anything else out?
No, just don't be a knucklehead.
Yeah.
Don't be a knucklehead and knock out vital infrastructure for your entire neighborhood. You don't want to be that guy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure you protect that underground facilities. Our stakeholders want to protect their underground facilities, but more important, they don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right. Yeah, like you said, I mean, I mentioned it being an inconvenience, talking about internet and stuff, but it can be an actual danger.
That's correct.
So, again, it is almost 8:11, so remember to call before you dig. Louisiana 811. Brent, thank you so much, man.
Oh, thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
When we get back, we'll talk to our guy, Devin Snow, hold the mayo, so keep it locked right here for some spread lines on OTB.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
For over 53 years, customers have been heading to Happy Town for the Corval Toyota experience. Why? because they choose to get an outstanding price and amazing customer service. Want the same and get treated like family? Then Corval Toyota in Opelousas is the dealership for you. Corval vehicles have been cruising around Acadiana for 5 decades. Corval Toyota is here to stay, and we want to keep you rolling. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Tigers are back on the practice field. We'll get you an LSU camp report, and we'll head down to New Orleans to check in on the Saints. Join us Monday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Mario, Jake, and Paulie hanging out with you today. And right now, as we do every Monday, it is time to check in with our guy, Devin Snow, a.k.a. Ho DeMayo. buying some fresh Joes. Dev, what's up, dude?
What's up? What's up? I could tell Benny's not here with that intro song for sure. Shout out Mario.
Wow.
Got me on that John Travolta jingle.
Wow, dude. Mario throws up his hands in resignation after Mario. What's wrong? Are you feeling the pressure without Danny choosing the rejoin music here, Mario?
A little bit, yeah.
Dude, hey, the best part about it is I texted Benny this morning like I usually do, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you're gonna have to get with Mario, bro. I'm in Italy."
Wow.
Like it came off just like that.
What a flex, dude. Oh my God. We should check in with Danny and see how he's doing, see if we can get him to wake up and come to the show. Although I don't know how Danny would do as a phone guest, to be honest.
The intrigue would be there for sure.
A rather taciturn man. I don't think that he's a man of few words, laconic, I guess you could say.
It still sounds really funny. Like that idea sounds really good, actually.
We'll see. Speaking of, Dev, I love spread lines. I look forward to what you've been paying attention to every week. Also, it is RB&R Day. Shirts available? Yes, no? What's the deal?
Yeah, every Monday, as long as they selling, they still available. So as of right now, you know, we still rolling. It's still we just milking the cow. That's pretty much it.
Hey, pull them nipples. Let's go, baby. Go to where can they buy them again?
All right, htmsports.com/shop.
There you go. htmsports.com/shop. All right, spread lines. It is time. You have London food in all caps here. I'm not going to tell you where I fall, but be careful about what you say next. Continue.
Yeah, there was just, a photo circulated over Twitter, and it was a piece of, looks like London bread, one link of sausage, and some baked beans, which I wouldn't even call them baked beans. They look like the beans from, I don't know if y'all remember Beans and Weenies.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody remember Beans and Weenies?
Yeah, and
That's what it looks like.
Beanies.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Hey, great canned food if you like canned food. But if I'm in London and this is what I'm being served at any point of the day, I got to be honest, man. I feel robbed, bro.
Look,
I feel robbed.
Okay. That is a crap meal. We cannot use that picture. Nice job. Give me some. I was looking for it, Paulie. I couldn't find it. Thank you for pulling this up. You cannot judge that as being actual London cuisine. That is literally just a single sausage link, a half a cup of some canned beans and a stale piece of bread. Like, that is not what you're actually going to get. Now, you will get those same ingredients, but of a much higher quality. A lot of places. I don't know how you feel, Jake. I love English cuisine. I know it gets crap.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Fish and chips are great. You know what's delicious?
I do love fish and
haggis.
chips.
And I don't care if it's not traditionally
they put
UK.
horseradish on everything, which I like it. I like a dab of it. They do put it on everything over there. Like burger, it's on it.
It's fine.
Drenched.
It's fine. You know what else is great? A classic English breakfast with your beans and your blood sausage and your eggs and everything. I mean, it's great, man. I don't know. I love it. I wish that we could get to go to that Saints game so I could experience it again. I feel at odds with the internet on this one.
Yeah, well, my thing is like, I mean, what is the good London food? Anytime London food gets brought up, what is the main thing everybody says? Forever. I mean, it's been like since existence. It's like, oh yeah, the fish and chips are really good. But what else do these people eat? Like sausage?
The classic English breakfast. I believe. I mean, I could be wrong here. The classic English breakfast. It's got beans. I think it's got blood sausage in there, right? It's got some eggs in there. It's just a good. I don't know. It's just a good spread, man. I think it made me throw like a tomato in.
T-Bob, I've never really heard you say like, "Oh, that was awful. That was bad food." I never really heard you say that.
Good point.
You know,
that's a good point, Jacob. That is a good point.
That's fair.
Not one time. We talk a lot of food on this show. Yeah. I never heard you be like, it's trash. I'm not gonna eat that.
Another good point. Emil in the chat. The British took over the world and never learned how to season food.
Well, I guess there is a deep irony that the East India Trading Company made an empire out of selling spices. But they do not spice their own food that much. That's a completely fair criticism there. Okay. You want to know what food I didn't like? I ate cold crawfish one time, and I actually complained. I paid, and I still tipped and everything, but I actually told the person, you know what? I don't think you should have served this to us. This was not very good. How about that, Jake?
What? Last thing is how much better is London's fish than like fish out of like St. Bernard Parish? You know, like is it better?
I don't think it's the quality of the fish.
Okay.
I mean, no, look, you can make great fish and chips here. Like, it's nothing special. It's just a beer battered fried fish with French fries, right? And ultimately, how are you going to go wrong with fried fish and French fries? Like, come on, that's like two of the easiest foods to make tasty in the entire world. So, no, it's nothing special. But you're right. I guess maybe I'm an awful judge of this because I love all food.
Dude, the fish and chips market should be hitting down here now, bro. I don't know how anybody hasn't taken that over yet.
I've always wondered the same exact thing. There's no crepe places down here, and there's no fish and chips places down here.
Like,
why is
yeah,
that?
fish and chips, bro. I mean, I'd eat fish and chips on any given Tuesday at noon. You
Also,
know?
aren't crepes traditionally French?
Yeah.
And here we are in this English and French culture. Me and my wife have always harbored a dream of opening a crepe place. But
a crepe
Yeah,
place.
yeah. But the only reason why I want it is because in the bathroom, I want to paint on the walls. It smells like crepe in here. And that's really the only idea.
Okay. Well, was that the first time, T-Bob, was that the first time you told everybody that joke right
Probably
there?
the 7th or 8th time in my radio career, maybe even 10th, that I've told that exact story and joke on air.
The crepe
so it's
cabana.
not even new material. Crepe cabanas, I'm telling you, dude, there's a lot of I was thinking about combining it. Whatever. There should be a crepe place and there should be a fish and chips place. Other spread lines, Dev, what we got?
Sam Mills. Shout out to Sam Mills.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I know this is going back, and look, I'm only 30 years old, so I wasn't even really coherent when he was playing. But, you know, my family, my dad, they all remember him. 5'9", inside linebacker.
Hell yeah.
I mean, dude. All-pro linebacker. He was all-pro at 37 years old for what was then an expansion team in the Carolina Panthers. I mean, he could have went anywhere. Ricky Jackson went to the 49ers. Sam Mills went to the Panthers and went all-pro, brought him to the playoffs, poured his soul out on the field for the Saints. I mean, you want to talk about somebody that laid it out on a line on Poydras. It was Sam Mills. So shout out Sam Mills, who's at last in the Hall of Fame. Rest in peace to a legend.
I asked this to the boys during the commercial break. Does he go in as a Saint or a Panther? And the only reason I say that, I mean, I get that he's with the Saints for a longer time, but he's also in the Panthers Ring of Honor, and they say keep pounding.
Yeah.
That is Sam Mills. Like, their entire main slogan traces back to Sam Mills, Deb. Do you have an opinion on which he goes in as?
Well, it's just one of those things I think where, and maybe Jacob knows, I don't know, like when you play for a team, for instance, I think he played for the Saints like 6 or 7 years, and then you go play for Carolina. I want to say he played, at least 4 or 5 years.
Pretty even.
He won, maybe not even. And then he wound up coaching there. They built a statue of this man while he was living.
Yeah.
He might be a
That's
Panther.
a good point, dude. He may go in as a Panther, which
Would
sucks.
that be the first Panther?
Oh.
Because the first Jag just got in with Baselli.
Double Big Cat special?
I think it would be the first Panther because the only other one I could think of that would be eligible would be like Julius Peppers or somebody. Yeah, I mean that's got to be the first one right there.
Is Peppers going to make the Hall of Fame? Right?
Yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Duh, obviously.
Yeah.
He's like first ballot, though. Is he in already? Maybe he's in
No.
already. Okay.
No, he's not in yet, but there's a couple of them. I mean, you figure Kuechly will probably make it.
Here's some that have been they're in the Hall of Fame, but not as Panthers, but played or were with the organization. Kevin Green, Reggie White, Donnie Shell, Mike McCormick, and Bill Polian.
Okay.
Dude, Kevin Green, bro,
forgot about
what
Kevin Green.
What a talent! This dude was on WCW spearing people too. Like really versatile guy.
Okay, this is crazy. So he actually only played 3 years for the Panthers. He did end up coaching there an additional 6 years, but he only played 3 years. So he had a massive impact in those 3 years. Also, we can never forget that he played in the CFL and USFL for multiple years before he made the league. So, I'm sorry, go ahead, Deb.
My bad. I'm sorry. I was just going to tell you, that was the whole, that was his big break, and he didn't get many big breaks. Sam Mills didn't.
Yeah.
Because every time he went to go play for any league, the first thing they said was, man, he looks too small to play inside linebacker. And Mora is who got a hold of him in the USFL.
Yep.
They won a championship, and then, eventually the next job Mora got was with the Saints, and he called him in for a tryout, and they say that he stuffed like the first 3 plays in practice, he stuffed this dude in the backfield, and they were like, okay, this is it.
Hey, this is on the Carolina Panthers official website. It's like Sam Mills is the first true Carolina Panther going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh.
So are they trying to like claim state?
Damn, chill
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I don't
there.
get that. I don't get that really, dude. Because I mean, Dome Patrol, bro. Like Dome Patrol, 4 linebackers going to the Pro Bowl consecutive years. Like I don't know if you could claim Sam Mills like that, but have a day,
Bro, this is blowing my mind. Do you know where Sam Mills went to college?
dude.
Montclair State. He walked on at Montclair State. This man walked on at Montclair State and is now an NFL Hall of Famer. What a legend, dude.
Dude, seriously, like he don't get enough. Like people don't talk about him enough. Seriously, it's an amazing story.
All right, Dev. How'd your day at training camp go, dude? I saw that somebody gave you, was that a Brandon Ingram signed basketball? Just a fan of the spread lines?
Yeah, he gave me and that's a controversial topic too, because the first thing I'm thinking is like, is this signature real?
Yeah.
Or
yes.
or was he in because he works for like the Saints or the Pelicans. Great guy. And yeah, I'm going with, hey, it's real. But me just being a normal person, I was like, man, did he just sign this and then walk it down to me? Like, I don't know what's going on, man. This is such a blessing. It's such a generous thing,
Wait, so how was Saints camp though? How'd Mikey T look? When did you go? Saturday, Sunday? How was it?
Yeah, I went Thursday.
Okay.
And Mike was sitting out. A lot of dudes were sitting out, to be honest with you. They ran the ball a lot. Like I saw a lot of Tony Jones. I saw a lot of Ozigba.
Yes.
Jarvis Landry, bro. Jarvis Landry. That's the one that keeps sticking out for me, man.
Yeah.
Because he just catches everything. And then you get to see the Jameis Winston experience. Like Nick Underhill says, it's an experience because he's going to throw some wild balls, bro, and you get to see it in person. So it was overall it was a good time.
I'm assuming that you just watched the Woodstock 99 documentary.
Yeah, have y'all?
I have not.
I've
heard
not.
good things. Give us a review.
Do y'all remember this event? Just
Oh, I
asking.
do. Yeah.
I do not. I do not have any, this is not a cultural touchstone.
I was
for
like
my
15,
childhood.
so I did.
Yeah, so basically, they redid Woodstock in '99, and they even had it on pay-per-view. You could watch it from home for 3 days. And I just remember, bro, like it just looked wild. Like I remember seeing Limp Bizkit, Korn, DMX, you name it, Jewel, like anybody that was really relevant in that late '90s era.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
Run through the grouping of bands that you just hit us with. You said Korn,
Limp Bizkit,
DMX,
Jewel.
And then Jewel? What?
Yeah, bro.
Is that really the lineup? Like you're not pulling that out of thin air?
Hey, Jewel was all the rage, man.
No,
Back in 1999. Don't hate on Jewel because she has a song talking about tiny hands.
I like Jewel.
That is not her
That is
fault
true,
that
though.
you match up with that song.
That is true.
Dude, Jewel was S tier at that time, for real, bro. Because when you talk about radio music, like she was on every day.
Look, don't mistake this. I'm not coming at Jewel
He's
from
coming
a
all at
enjoyment
Jewel right now.
standpoint. I'm saying thematically, those don't fit together when you tell me Limp Bizkit, Korn, DMX, and then Jewel. Like some of this music are harder than the other.
Well, that's what they talk about in the documentary too. Like whoever did the making the lineup, man, they were just going off, man, because you figured that's not it, man. Like Rage Against the Machine, Metallica, Alanis Morissette, Dave Matthews Band, Wyclef Jean, Counting Crows.
Okay,
I
like
give
this
a high
spread,
on
though.
that.
I do like this spread actually, though.
Yeah, it's James Brown, Korn, Bush, Offspring. Shout out Offspring.
Ooh, Offspring. Pretty fly for a white guy, huh?
Been a long time.
But anyway, 300,000 people they show in the documentary just going absolutely nuts over Limp Bizkit and Korn. People forget, man, like Limp Bizkit had the world by the throat at that time. Like he was the biggest dude out.
Can you imagine just banging Keep Rolling up there with 300K in the stands, going insane in your backwards fitted cap? I mean, look at that picture. That picture, Paul, just grew. That is mind blowing. That is a sea of humanity. What if you're in the back of the crowd? Why are you there? Like, what are you looking at? You can't see.
It's all about
him
the
at
vibes,
all. You
man.
can barely hear.
It's all about the vibes.
I guess you're feeding off just a massive human energy. That's unbelievable. Shout out
Godsmack. Godsmack Creed. Like, this is incredible, bro.
Damn.
Incredible.
I bet Creed brought the house down.
All right, now you got me wanting to watch. Now you got me wanting to watch Woodstock '99.
Great documentary, man. And like, of course, now that it's been like, what, 23 years or whatever, they always criticize something. But, I mean, it was 300,000 people in 1999. Like, there's no control in that. I don't care who's doing security, that was the peak of 1999. And you got to figure, everybody thought the world was going to end, too.
Yeah, they did. A little Y2K. You're right.
Man, scary time, dude. Computer 0.
Talking about Beanie Weenies, everybody was stocked up on Beanie Weenies.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
We actually were. Like, dude, did you?
I know.
Yeah. So my family did a little prepping.
Well, I mean, Joey Hesser has enough Wolf Brand chili to last a lifetime anyways, but.
And I've seen the chat, Billabo, the best thing about that photo is there's no cell phones at it. I always think of that. Like,
that is so wild.
How much fun people were having, and I can always see it in, like, late wrestling clips and stuff when they didn't have phones.
Yeah, man. A time that is gone forever. No putting that toothpaste back in the tube. Dev, you have a great day, my friend. Enjoy RB&R Day. We'll be on the lookout later. You don't know where you're going yet, I'm assuming?
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome that you now just assume that. But
I finally have learned. I finally have learned. Dev, you have a great day, my friend.
All right, y'all take care.
See you, Dev.
All right, holla. Wrapping up the show next here on OTB. But first, I want to remind you to go to GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. Your one-stop shop for all your heavy equipment need. Go to GoTros today. It is local and family-owned. 2 locations, okay? 18 years they've been at it. Yeah, they make it easy at GoTros. You get free delivery anywhere in the state. When you buy the Hustler equipment, largest Hustler dealer and equipment. Full access to the parts and service departments. GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. Stick around. Close out next.
OTB, OT. This week on DropBiscuit.com or wherever you listen to podcasts is our new series, Pops, the Louis Armstrong story. Pops is brought to you by New Orleans & Company. Check out neworleans.com and come visit New Orleans.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Tigers are back on the practice field. We'll get you an LSU camp report, and we'll head down to New Orleans and check in on the Saints. Join us Monday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob Jake hanging out with you. I want to remind you to go gamble at DraftKings. Okay. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, and you can be like Jake and win tons of money on same-game parlays or, multiple Chinese baseball league parlays. Whatever it is there for you at DraftKings. And remember, right now, promo code Baton Rouge, you get that risk-free bet of up to $1,000. We love Coors Light. Drink a lot of Coors Light at the lake this weekend. You all have a great day.
Lake Bob loves Coors Light.
We'll see you tomorrow.
OTB OT.
Sorry about Ask the Bench Boys. It's been a little long there during spread lines. That's on me. That's always. You know what else is on me? Giving you great advice for your everyday life. Which is why I'm telling you to go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, and you will see just how different it is the second you walk in, because the facilities are kind of what blows you away first. They have invested and made this no dingy old office, nothing like that. These are nice facilities built out with the latest technology, both from like a quality of life standpoint, like creating your digital profile, but also from like a use for the doctor standpoint, the actual equipment that they're using. Patient Plus are the best. Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care today.
Yeah, once you go there, you're going to see, they are convenient for you in an inconvenient time, just 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. All the locations they have in the Baton Rouge area. You can schedule your appointment right there online. They're open 7 days a week. They're there for you. PatientPlusUC.com. Get in and get better.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information.